podcast ever recorded. And today, we're headed to Clandathu because only good bugs are dead bugs. Let's go! You want to live forever? Come on, you moose. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers. The day has come. We are here. This movie, I've been enchanted by it since 1997. It was one of those movies when we first started that, you know, it didn't really qualify by the normal metrics. So I was like, damn it, we'll never get to do this one. But then we started making some judgment calls. So I just want to lead with this because some people might just be like, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. Same thing with Evil Dead. Same thing with Army of Darkness. I know when it came out, the critics destroyed it. There's been some revisionist history that's happened, and the new critics, the podcasters, whatever, that have been adding their scores to Rotten Tomatoes have carried it over a certain level. But it was not critically beloved when it came out. Mm-hmm. It definitely feels like a B movie. And, you know, you've got any movie starring Casper Van Dien and Denise Richards, I think, should be on this show. So that's why we're here. So thank you guys all for being part of this. Brian Draws Movies is here. What's up, man?
Not much is up. I appreciate you asking, though. It's very polite of you.
Yeah, so you've seen this before, or is this your first time?
This was my first time. I had never seen it.
Oh, my God.
I'd seen little clips here and there. No, but I was so excited. So excited to be on this episode. So I was like, perfect opportunity to watch this thing.
Awesome. And then immediately to his right, David is also in the house.
I'm doing my part.
Perfect. I'm doing my part. He's doing his part. Bob's not going to do freaking as they say.
Yeah, that little kid.
I like this movie. I guess I'm a Nazi.
Bob Hauser.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
Okay. I know that people are excited every time you're here, and especially when we get to talk about a movie where there's joint shower scenes and
absolutely.
all kinds of things. So
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Bob's got to be in on this.
I'm just going to say this right off the bat. There's not any one of us sitting here, including Josh at the kids' table, that would not lather up Casper Van Dien and baby oil.
Wait,
order pizza.
Pump the brakes.
Hold on. Order pizza.
I'm with you.
Get a Bon Jovi CD, Slippery When Wet.
I see.
Obviously.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Following.
And then watch Roadhouse.
All right.
Bob.
Yeah.
That's not where I thought it was going.
No, that's why I got real nervous at the beginning.
Yeah.
As Bob mentioned, I want to shout out Josh the Hammer Whitehouse over here at the kids' table. How's it going, man?
I am doing my part, and I'm very humbled to be here. Thank you.
Dude, I'm excited that you're here. So, Josh, if you've heard the name before, it's because he, as a patron, has done a number of awards for us on past shows. He's local in that he's only, about 30 minutes away from Burlington. And he reached out and was like, hey, man, Starship Troopers, can I just come out and be at the kids' table? I'm like, absolutely. Because now I don't have to read your awards. You can just give them when it comes to that time.
Again, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're saving me work. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being out here. And so the five of us are here, as I said, to tackle Starship Troopers. I'll give you guys the vitals like we always do. We'll kick things off with who wrote it, directed it, starred in it, how it qualifies, although I've kind of already covered that a little bit. I will tell you what the scores actually are and a little bit of history that I have with the movie and why I think it qualifies. And then we're going to go scene by scene through the movie as we always do. And then at the end, awards. Who was good? Who sucked? And is this actually a bad movie that rules, or a straight up good movie? And I'm sure there'll be lots of political.
Don't do it, Bob. I know you want to do it. Don't do it.
Just
Don't
wait.
do it.
Don't
Jump
wait
the
till
gun. You're going to jump it. Don't do it.
Nah, I'm not going to do
You
it.
can do it. I believe in you, Bob. Let's dive straight in here, okay? So Starship Troopers came out in 1997. This was when I was in college. I had just started at the College of Last Chance at CLC.
You went to college?
Very briefly.
For the babes, right?
Well, that's why people go to college at Lake County, because all the smoking hot sixes
Dude,
that they got out there.
I didn't qualify for the Blarney Island College.
He saw this movie and thought that there were co-ed showers.
That's what I thought. I was like, I have to get into college immediately.
That's right. I want to be a citizen.
I want to be a citizen.
My history with this is this was the one and only. I got hired to be the movie review guy for the college newspaper.
Nice.
Because Brady, who you know,
Yeah.
was like had the in at the college paper, and I was a freshman, and so he's like, "Yeah, come on in, you do movie reviews." I did exactly one movie review for that paper before I said, "This, I'm not doing this anymore." And it was Starship Troopers in 1997. It was the only
How bad
one.
was it?
They
Yeah,
just
what was
and
wrong with it?
I just didn't like because they edited all like crazy, and then they're just like, it's too long, it's not good, and I was like, well, this isn't fun. Goodbye.
So it basically made you like a robot.
Yeah, exactly. And so Brady and I actually wrote dueling reviews for it, so we both had a thing in there next to each other, and it only happened to be this movie because that was the movie that was coming out the week they're like, go to the movies and review something, and I knew nothing about this, so I'm like, all right, well, it's Guns and Bugs, we'll do this one, right?
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, that's my one and only published movie review in history was Starship Troopers.
At the end, you got to tell us what your review was.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what it was.
Did it change?
Movie was directed by Paul Verhoeven, which means we've now covered the entire action trilogy. If you look at Paul Verhoeven's filmography, it's a lot of like serious, often female-led like dramas and
Showgirls.
Like Showgirls is I don't know if it's a drama,
He did
but
that?
it's like
Yeah.
No.
but it's definitely women-led. Then out of all his filmography, which the three things it doesn't fit is Total Recall, RoboCop, and Starship Troopers, and he did this action trilogy. And then never made another action movie like that kind of ever again.
You should have stuck to these.
Absolutely.
Because every single one he did was a banger,
No.
right?
Of these.
Of these three. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm talking about Showgirls. But yes.
Showgirls was also a banger,
That's
but
a different banger.
different kind
Different
of banger.
connotation, yeah. Paul Verhoeven directed. The movie was written by Edward Neumeier and Robert Heinlein. Heinlein? Maybe. Doesn't matter. Movie starred Casper Van Dien, Denise Richards, and, as you know, anyone listen to Dragonheart, my favorite, Dina Meyer. We got Jake Busey, who's got a signature right on the wall behind me here, saying always bringing that Will Patton energy. Clancy Brown, Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, there's all Michael Ironside.
Yes.
Is in this movie.
Yes.
Because it's Verhoeven. I mean, they had him in Total Recall, and was he in RoboCop? I don't know if Michael Ironside was in RoboCop.
I don't think so.
No.
In
I don't
spirit.
think so.
In spirit.
No.
But he brought that guy back. It's just a great cast.
He even had Rue the lady from the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
I
Rue
didn't
McClanahan.
notice that till right now. I'm looking at the picture.
The teacher with the blind teacher.
Ruth. I don't
Yes,
It's like
Ruth.
dissecting bugs with the Golden Girls. That's what we're doing.
Oh, she was the googly-eyed teacher?
Yeah, she was a googly eye teacher.
While they're taking the bugs apart or whatever. And then on IMDb right now, the current score is a 7.3. That is very high for this kind of movie. And here it sits on Rotten Tomatoes at a 72% from critics. And so critics are even a 2% higher than the audience score on this one. So liked by audiences, liked by critics. But I'm telling you guys, when I published that review back in 1997, that was not the prevailing thought. The critics at the time were like, dumb, loud, stupid.
B movie. But
B
the
movie.
B was for budget because
Right.
it looked awesome.
It did look great.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
And it did get nominated for Academy Award for that too.
For set design or
No, for
effects or
the
what?
graphics.
Oh, for visual effects.
For visual effects. Yep, it is
Nice.
Academy Award nominee.
Look
That
at
was pretty early in
Yeah.
computer generated anything too.
Yeah, I always kind of feel like the line of demarcation was Jurassic Park in '93, even though there was some CGI before. Last Starfighter was '84, was it? And they were
Yeah.
just starting to do a little bit of that. But '93 was really when it took that next leap, and this was only 4 years after that. So,
I believe some of the same people that worked on Jurassic Park worked on Starship Troopers.
well, it showed because the bugs. The
bugs look great.
It's 2025, and it still looks good.
It looks good. It looks a lot better than a lot of things that are coming out with
Like
300
currently.
Yeah, like
Right.
they had $300 million budgets and they look
Right.
fake.
The Flash.
That too.
That's
Oh, that
what-
baby scene
the
coming
baby
down.
scene, the baby scene in Flash.
Dial of Destiny.
And I'm like, okay, Dial of Destiny. Yeah,
I love Dial of
I love
Destiny.
Dial of Destiny. We'll talk about that another day. I don't want to get too sidetracked on that, but yes.
Sorry.
Dial
Doesn't it
of
make you wonder how certain movies though will catch that cult classic status, so that people now who are
Yeah.
adding these reviews bump it all the way up to 72%?
Well, yeah, because if you go look at the actual breakdown of critics, and you see a lot of them are from like blogs and websites and podcasts, and they're all like, this movie rocks. And I'm like, people feel differently about this movie 20, 30 years down the line than they did in 97 when you're talking about the only critics were the newspaper guys and gals, right? Like the LA Times and Rolling Stone and maybe Entertainment Weekly and, Ebert was the Chicago Sun-Times, right? And they had their TV show, but like there wasn't internet critics at that point, right? I mean, the internet was just a baby in 1997. But
Well, and the only people you had to listen to were critics who probably didn't think this was that cool. And now you've got the internet where you've got a bunch of dorks like us who are like, this is good and you should be watching it. And then it just makes that score go up.
Much. So, and we appreciate that you guys like to listen to a bunch of dorks talk about this stuff. And so if you want to hear more from us, we have whole other podcasts that are available on our Patreon and other content, trailer reviews. We do award assignments. You can, like Josh, comes in and gives awards on the show. You can do that and participate along with us if you just go to patreon.com/badmoviesrule, and we will get you signed up and you can become part of the community, join the Discord, all that stuff. You can have more BMR, and we would very much appreciate your support. It's all in the show notes too if you can't remember that. Patreon.com/badmoviesrule. All right. We'll be right back after we pay some bills. Welcome back, everybody, from that break. We're going to jump straight into the plot now. And I remember vividly when I first saw this being very confused because the movie starts with like a advertisement of, propaganda or whatever you want to call it, right? It's join up now. We need soldiers. I'm doing my part. That meme that now has become a meme the last couple of years is all these guys saying, join the Federation, become a citizen.
And that little kid, I'm doing my part. And everybody, no, you aren't. You
Thank you to me.
It's like, holy dude, why is that kid here?
Yeah. Who gave him a gun?
You need a bullet sponge, man.
Yeah. Well,
or a bug
shields.
sponge.
The shields are.
But that's the thing throughout the movie. They start young on so much of the propaganda in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like the child, here you go.
Send little Jakey out there to recon and see if there's any bugs over the horizon.
I'm doing my part.
Don't go that way. Don't go that way. All right, the other way.
Put them on your shoulders and go walk over that hill slowly.
Take this grenade that's beeping and crawl down that hole. Why is it beeping, sir? Don't
Here's a
worry
nuke.
about it, sir.
Jakey's doing his part.
All right, someone get Stan. Come here, Stanny. Come on.
Go to the kid pen.
Gosh. And this is all kind of, well, we start in a little bit, down the road, and then it comes to a flashback here. But at this point, the bugs launched another meteor, but this time we're ready, and they show the ship blowing the meteors, and I'm just immediately thinking, how in that is they just got a giant bug that just shoots rocks out its ass across a galaxy, or
unclear.
how the
Ass
hell
shooter.
It's
Yeah.
never shown how they launch meteors.
And immediately I go, wow, those are some smart bugs that know how to shoot meteors. Yeah. And then the whole struggle throughout the thing is, well, they can't be smart. How dare you even say they'd be smart? Well, they're throwing meteors at our planet.
Right at Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
And what's
With good
crazy-
aim.
They take a lot of
Bypass
pot shots.
Every
Yes.
single planet.
They do.
No.
Rock fights, are a thing between, when you're young. But eventually a rock fight can get big enough where it's very dangerous. And this is basically, they're just chucking rocks back and forth at each other.
Pretty much. And
Right.
the pot shots, that's what they do. Is
Right.
There's just shooting
Oh, yeah, the
missiles
plasma,
into the
the
sky.
bug
And
plasma.
then these rocks, they just kind of toss them into space.
That's it.
They're playing a great game of Donkey Kong.
That's exactly
Yep.
what it is. And so we get the preview of the Klendathu invasion in the beginning here. And we don't even know who any of these soldiers are yet, right? And that they're all running down out of their carrier ship, the shuttles, and they're running across into the field where all the bugs are coming out, and the bugs look cool, and they start fighting the machine guns. And one of my favorite characters in the movie is the reporter guy.
Yeah.
It's an ugly planet, a bug planet.
Yep.
On the front lines without a gun,
Yeah.
a pistol or anything, just a microphone. So if a bug gets him, he's just gonna be like,
Hey, I'm just talking about it, man. I'm not here to fight.
The bright lights and the cameras and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on your side. Bug lives matter.
right. The cameraman's got a spotlight like this, and the bugs run by. They're chasing another soldier, but they're like, "Holy crap!
Yeah.
Come get this guy!"
Shooting. Who's got the light on? We're trying to be stealthy.
That guy freaking killed me.
Yeah.
And then you get the shot of Van Dien yelling straight into camera, get out of here. And you see him, you don't know who he is yet, but you see him get injured. And then it fades to black, and we get 1 year earlier.
Yep.
All right, everybody calm the hell down.
Yeah.
The movie starts off. That was a lot, man. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Unpucker
Seriously.
your butts. We're going to do the rest of the story now.
Yeah, and so we end up in school, and it's a year earlier, and here's Casper Van Dien drawing on his, what was that, the DS drawing program
Etch-a-Sketch?
that had that
Yeah.
sketch thing, right?
Futuristic.
Pictogram. You know,
He pulled up MS Paint.
MS Paint.
Who didn't do that when they're on the computer? It's
Just like
He's very good at it. I couldn't draw anything on that
busted
thing.
out a whole animation
Yeah.
and everything. And Michael Ironside was my teacher. I'd be afraid to do anything except my work.
yeah.
Yeah, and he kept putting his stump on people.
He just lays it on. She's like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah. What do you think? I think I don't want you to do that.
Right. Do you wash that often? Is that like your hands? That looks dirty.
That animation too. Like
Yes.
when you watch the animation,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're opening their mouth. What are they? Oh, they're gonna kiss?
Yeah.
That's real wide of a mouth.
Yeah.
Pretty good, man.
Nope, she's gonna cock block him with bubble gum.
My mom says violence never solves anything, is what Denise Richards says. And this is where they have this whole debate.
Tina Myers.
The Dina Meyer said that. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry to make
And they have this whole debate. No, I appreciate it. Where Michael Ironside is basically like, violence good. It is the supreme authority in the universe. And
It has been proven that all disputes have been
settled.
resolved by violence.
That's right.
So
typical answer for somebody that's never been in a fight or whatever his stupid thing is. They're trying to lay the groundwork for. They're doing some world building here of what type of society that this is.
what's happened because bugs now?
Right.
Everybody's got to be a badass.
Right. And there's some students that Johnny is able to recite straight out of the textbook, right? His answers, but he himself admits that he's not really sure if he believes any of it's true or not. And he's kind of going back and forth about whether he wants to be a citizen and do his civic duty. And he even asks his teacher for some advice, Michael Ironside at one point, and he says, choosing is the only real freedom you have anymore, right? So you make up your own mind, basically.
Yeah, and they're rich kids.
Yeah,
so
they're very rich kids.
Like this movie's rich with like, get it? You get what we're doing here? But like,
Yeah.
if you're rich, do you care or do you just be rich? And does it matter? And blah, blah, blah.
It's some great lines from Ironside here,
Yeah.
though. It's some great, just lines of just basically setting it up that, hey, if you don't do your part, you're not a citizen.
Go to words Johnny just as a rich boy should just be content to go to Zegema Beach and
Right.
go live his rich boy lifestyle, which is why I think his parents react like, the frick you talking about joining the mobile
You don't
infantry?
have to do that.
Yeah, you got that from that teacher. What's his name?
Yeah. Do you know
Stumpy.
how much money I have
That's
in
a
my
silly name.
sock right now, let alone in the bank? Like what are we talking about here, man? There's no way. Well, we do learn that Johnny isn't a very smart kid because Neil Patrick Harris comes along and puts his math score full screen for everybody to see.
Great.
He can recite 2 paragraphs from a book.
Right.
But he's not too good at math.
4 + 4, he's like,
Yeah.
Thursday.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
35 is bad, dude.
What's 2 + 2? Jello.
It's bad. And we see Denise Richards, who is talking about how she wants to be a pilot and be in the fleet, and she's Johnny's girlfriend. She's Rico's girlfriend. Carmen. Carmen Ibanez.
Yeah.
And she says, math scores are the first thing the fleet look at. And so she goes over and punches hers up. 97%.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the most unrealistic thing that happens in this entire movie. I call bullshit. that
man.
glazed-eyed genius. Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Math scores aren't based on how many socks you've wrecked for all of your classmates. Because that's all that she did for her whole high school career,
my
probably.
God.
I don't care. I'll choose Dina Meyer any day of the week.
There you go.
I'm with you. Team Dana.
I'm sure
Team
that'll
Dina.
be a hot topic throughout this entire episode.
I'm on Team Dina all the way.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Denise running her off to every guy that's around there. Hey, you check your score. I got to go talk to Marco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just gosh.
Some 30-year-old guy that's playing football against her boyfriend. That,
30.
That's
Well,
why
that's right.
Generous.
Mother trucker, you look 30.
That dude is 47 years old.
but he's attending the dance somehow.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into all
That's
that.
the Rob Lowe of Dollar General.
Yeah, I was one of those dudes that went to prom after I left high school, though, so I get it.
He wasn't invited.
No, I just
showed up.
went.
I stood outside. It was really
She's
odd.
getting older, and the girls stay the same age.
Neil Patrick Harris comes and rounds out this trio. So this is, I think, one of the big mistakes of the movie, and we'll get into it as we go. But the main trio the movie wants you to be is Neil Patrick Harris, Carmen, and Rico. And they have this moment, the three of them, and they're like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do, because you're just establishing the characters. And you see Dina Meyer's character, Diz, is like a hanger-on. And she's kind of always hovering around Johnny and making eyes at him in class. And even Neil Patrick Harris says, she really likes you. And he's like, yeah, but I want Carmen. He's like kind of just smug.
She feels like
it banned.
Carmen. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it.
Carmen wouldn't put out.
Well, she does. Maybe not.
We don't have proof.
We'll get there.
On top of the clothes.
Yeah.
That was a bunch of
Over the clothes.
That was a bunch of pants humping.
With her hoodie on.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Dina Meyer would have just banged you right in the courtyard.
Yeah, she
Diz would have banged you right in the courtyard, not Dana Meyer herself. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
let me
Diz
clarify.
wanted, or Rico wanted Diz's feelings in Carmen's butt.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what Johnny Rico wanted. That was his dream. But no, I got to go for the airplane.
That's true.
That's why I said, like, are they together? Because she kind of is just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're my guy.
She's playing every side.
Right.
No matter which guy she's in front of,
not
that's the
committed
guy she's giving the attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the new football player shows up on an airplane, whatever.
We'll get there. But yeah, so I did appreciate that right after they showed how stupid Johnny is, that they go to the scene of him dissecting the bugs.
Yeah.
And it's no problem for him whatsoever. And in fact, it's Carmen who can't hack it, and she's literally trying to vomit her lunch. And he's
good
just
puke.
Like, hold this for me, will you? Right? And, you know, he's got, I don't know, a stomach, intestines, all that
pulling it
stuff,
out.
just pulling it out like it's no problem. Dina,
Jiggling it so much more than he needs to.
He's like,
he's got to hold it.
This is a gooey part.
Diz is laughing at her.
Diz is also like has no problem with it, right? And it's like obvious that they're perfect for each other.
The Golden Girl teacher.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought maybe that's why she was trying to vomit. Like, 'cause that's the worst I've ever seen Rue McClanahan look, and she was definitely the hottest Golden Girl. Unless you're a B. Arthur guy, any of you, I don't know.
No,
I mean, Betty White.
I'd the
Betty
horny
White?
Betty
one.
White, absolutely.
Over Rue McClanahan?
Yep.
What was it? Eliza Getty? Eliza Getty, Betty White, and Ruth who?
Rue McClanahan.
Straight three-way right there.
Okay.
Wow.
Nothing straight about it.
You were just watching because there's already 3 with them. Is that what you're saying?
He wants Ruth's attitude
Yes.
with the butt of Betty White.
Carmen's butt. That's fine.
I want Betty White's cooking.
She wants her to make the jokes.
I did like how the Golden Girl was like, you think they're stupid. Now I'm doing Katharine Hepburn, but
Keep going.
they can colonize an entire system by shooting their spores into space. And
Norman!
gross.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, and then just colonize a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. That's disgusting.
Well, now I
So
got to
do they
hope I
just
haven't.
choose? So do they just choose between meteorites and spores every day, or
I'm like, not if the bugs are drunk, they're not doing that. That's
I can shoot farther than you.
That's awesome. Like there's some bugs that are like, okay, we're gonna go do the rocks again, guys. Let's just start shooting those off. And there's one bug that comes out all wasted, like, yeah, right. I'm just gonna go beat one off into space. That's how we're gonna colonize.
told you it's rock time.
That's right.
Do your job.
We know they love it. They love it.
Smacks Pam Anderson right in the face.
Their favorite, dude.
It's terrific.
He's gotta watch 2 other bugs in a rocket.
I need one of those
like-
flying bugs and one of those big bugs to do it.
Otherwise, it's not happening.
Right. I can't
Not
get it up.
today. All right. We have a scene where
Where are the thumbs?
Neil Patrick Harris
It's apparently psychic.
is a psychic. Yes, they're trying
Yeah.
to establish what his character is, and now
Who are you
it's
gonna call?
the next scene, or we say the next step in human evolution. That some people have psychic abilities, and the governments are testing for this stuff now, and whatever. And so he's trying to get Casper. I keep saying their actors' names, but Rico to guess cards before he flips them over, and he's like, statistically speaking, you should have accidentally guessed one right by now, right?
I don't understand why he's testing him.
He just really wants him to go with him, maybe because they're friends, and he wants him to make it into the program. It's really the only purpose of the scene is to set up Neil Patrick Harris.
Right.
But I can't remember his name. Out of everybody, I don't remember his name.
Carl.
Carl, is that it?
Carl,
It's
yes.
Carl.
Carl? All right.
But it also wasn't a lot of payoff with the psychic stuff. I understand that towards the end there was like one thing, like, you told me that, didn't you? I'm not going to say, but that was pretty much it.
No, you're right. It only sets up one scene in the
Yeah.
entire movie.
Right, because at the end, his ferret comes out and he says, "Go bug Mom, Cyrano," and gave him the impression that there was a grub crawling up Mom's leg. And Rico says, "You can't do that to me. He's like, no, I can't do humans yet.
Everybody got that?
Okay. Because it's obvious that's going to come back around at some point, right? Which is just setting up the ending, basically. Then we cut to, and again, not like the movie with Rick Moranis, but Spaceball, which is the space
Indoor
version-
football.
Indoor football.
This is indoor football. I went to it. It was called the Mustangs, and it was pretty fun.
And the Giants. It was
Yeah.
the Mustangs versus the Giants.
Yep.
And this is obviously school. Are they supposed to be high school?
They're supposed to be high schoolers, yes.
Supposed to be.
Who in 1 year will be the trainer on a pilot on a
Right,
ship.
that's what I'm saying, dude. It's just like
High school lasts 14 years
it has to
in this new
because
society.
even though Xander looks like he's 47 years old, Rico and Carmen aren't passing for high schoolers either, and certainly not Diz.
No.
You know,
And this football game, it was pretty much Rico and Xander
yeah.
against each other, and the rest of the people were just there to get mollywopped.
Cannon fodder. Cannon fodder.
Okay.
I like how Xander on the first play full sends for Rico, who just does a flip and he launches himself straight into the crowd.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so some sort of elevated.
Yeah.
Elevated.
It's like arena football. Yeah, you're good. It's like arena football or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have like superhero strength or like abilities to be able to be jumping over people and doing these flips. I was like, oh, cool. They're going to use that later when they're fighting.
Yeah, like I've seen people do backflips, but he backflipped like 3 times his own height.
Yeah. Oh, like way over.
Way
people.
over.
Yeah.
Way over. He lands in the crowd, Xander, and he's like, oh, what's up, hot chick? And here's Carmen here. And they, start talking.
Yeah, he landed in a bucket of water or something,
Yeah,
too. He
right.
was dripping.
His hair was always wet.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All the time wet.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so sweaty. Is it hot in here? Or
Yeah.
is it you? What's up?
Yeah, what are you doing?
And Carmen, of course, is like, hi. I don't care. You're a boy. And I want to touch you.
Yeah, what are you doing after the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I
don't
gotta
know.
go
I
be
gotta-
a pilot for the fleet right after.
Are you coming to
Oh,
the
I want to
dance?
be too.
Your boyfriend's playing the game.
Right.
And also-
just scored on him.
Why would the opposing team be coming to your prom?
Yeah, also a great question. Yeah, why the hell was he coming in? Hold on a second.
Look
Aren't
for
you
Carmen.
Giants? Right?
He was looking for Carmen.
Oh my gosh, dude. And he freaking the final play. All right, so I just want to set this up. Diz is the quarterback, okay? And the next play, Xander embarrasses Rico, and so now they've kind of gotten one on each other, and they come back up, and he's just looking back at. It's between plays. Anybody that knows football, you huddle up. It's between plays, and Xander is sitting on the sideline, risen up Carmen, while their defense is lining up.
Yeah.
I
might see the problem in your team's offense or defense here.
it was like almost like what the Bears did on that Hail Mary against
Yep.
the Redskins. This
What
year.
was his name?
Stevenson? Was it
Yeah,
Raymond
Stevenson. He's just over here
He's just,
heckling everybody.
like, getting in with the crowd and stuff while the play is happening behind him. That's almost what happened with this guy.
Yep.
Okay, he's over here like they're coming out of the huddle and he's still talking to
There.
Carmen and
See how
Johnny's
wet my hair is?
Rico's getting pissed, and so Diz smacks him in the head. Right, just throw me the ball.
No.
Flip
Give me the
six,
ball, Diz.
flip 6 3-hole.
I mean, if I was Diz, I would just launch the ball right into Carmen's face.
Yeah, why didn't she?
I don't know.
Oops.
A lot of wide open.
We'll play the flip 6 3-hole on second down. Okay. This is everybody go right.
Where's
I'm
the
throwing it left.
3-hole?
Well, she finds out later.
No, that's flip 6 2-hole.
6 2-hole. That's it. That's a
20
different
minutes. Remember?
Yeah.
20 minutes.
What I love about this play of Spaceball is that Diz, who is 115 pounds, bodies 2 oncoming pass rushers.
That's why they're there.
Doosh.
Yeah.
They both go flying. Then she rips on a line. And if you watch Rico, he runs up a ramp. I'm serious. You can see him start to, in the frame, run up a ramp and then flips
Yep.
and catches this ball over everybody.
Could you imagine if every flipping football field had ramps that you can run
That's
up?
what I'm saying, right? Well, there's no ramp, but he clearly runs up a ramp.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be one there.
But you imagine it would be cool if there was.
Right.
Be so cool.
The coach has the option to he's right over that spot, elevates the ramp.
Elevates the ramp, puts
Like-
a couple of monkey bars or something right there.
Battle bots where like saw blades come out of the ground and stuff. That'd be
Be
great.
incredible, man.
Yeah, she throws that thing though, and then he starts doing all these acrobats.
That ball's in the air for a
For a
while.
long time. Yeah.
Enough time for him to land, talk, order breakfast, and then he's like, okay, got it.
Swipe right.
Yeah, exactly.
He runs and he dives for the end zone for no reason.
No, for no reason.
Yeah.
Because he was getting tackled.
Yeah, he didn't know, though. He was just running straight forward.
Vander was chasing him down.
Dove. Yeah.
All of this, I think, is just to like, here is your physical guys.
Yes.
Here is your brain people. Here is your pilot. And
Exactly.
here's why they are those
All
people,
that stuff.
I think. Yeah.
All right. The next day, he tells his mom and dad that he wants to go join be a citizen, join the army or whatever.
Because he
Space
talks
Marine.
to Stumpy at the dance.
That's right. This is when he
Yeah.
says, choosing for yourself is the only real freedom that you have. So
Right.
make up your own mind. And at the dance, you know, they have this the very fancy party, and Diz and Rico end up dancing because where's Carmen? She says, "Oh, you know, too bad for her. She's not here," and grabs Rico and starts to dance with him. Right? Why isn't
She
Carmen
doesn't
around?
show up until the end.
But they were there because she was like hiding her face while they walked past.
Right.
And Carmen kept going and she grabbed Rico.
Right.
Carmen saw another guy.
Carmen saw another guy.
yeah, for
She
sure.
says, that's Joe Blow, and he's going to the academy, so I'm going to go talk to him. And Rico just
She's
goes,
outside.
okay. And then,
That's what I'm saying. Is I could tell within 10 minutes that she's going to break up with him.
Yeah.
Like 6 scenes before she actually did. I'm like, Johnny, she doesn't like you, dude.
yeah.
Like it's
Not
so
like
clear.
that.
Not like that,
Yeah.
right? Like you're the football guy, you're the high school boyfriend, but you're not the guy she stays with the second she gets out of here.
Right.
It's over, dude.
And you could tell that from the classroom scene.
Right.
The very first scene they're in together.
100%.
It's like he's all in and she is.
Bubble gum in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, when you've got your eyes on that one girl and it doesn't matter what she says, it does, all the red flags in the world, all your friends can come along and be like, bro, and you just will not listen. It's just so in that way, it's realistic. I feel like,
Unless you got mugged by your future self.
yeah, right. I'm you from the future. Why do you only have one arm?
I'm like that with Taco Bell. No matter how many people are like, hey, don't do that, man. I don't listen.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter how many times. You know, Diz shoots her shot again, and Enrico says, "Can't we just be friends?" And
Oh, I know. He's an idiot.
you know,
Why
to
have
this
we never
day.
gotten together?
He doesn't deserve her.
Dumb.
He does-
The movie
he
sets
doesn't
it up.
deserve
Doesn't
her.
deserve her.
Apparently, it didn't benefit her whatsoever at the very end.
Can't we just be friends? Sure, moron. That's what I wanted her to say. He's the biggest moron.
Yeah.
I love Rico. I'm not like he's not a character that I hate. I love the guy. He's my favorite character in the movie, probably. But in this one aspect of Carmen and Diz, he is an absolute moron. And he eventually makes the right decision, but only because the movie and every character has to beat him over the head.
Another reason he's a moron is because he just does whatever Radcheck or whatever the teacher's name is. He does whatever he says.
Right.
And what Carmen says, too.
That's the thing. So
Yeah.
the teacher's like, you make up your own mind. He's like, well, I don't know. I'll just do what she's doing. That's
right.
And goes and joins. But then
joins
even
for a
throughout
girl.
the whole rest of the movie,
Yeah.
he's just quoting the teacher.
Yeah.
And he's doing whatever the teacher says. Yeah.
You guys scope the backup singers on that awesome prom band?
Oh, just the
I
music
have
in
not
general.
been to paradise. I've never paid attention to this lady singing the song, but for some reason I caught one of her backups, and she is so like watching someone off camera tell her how to do the moves. It's hilarious.
Like a dog with a
Like a
treat.
dog with a
Just
treat.
like,
she's like,
Like a 5-year-old
"And I
on
have
stage.
not been to paradise. Wax on, wax off. If you guys haven't
Right
scoped
arm.
it, go scope the one on the right.
Yeah.
Next time you watch the movie, scope the girl on the right.
Mom is just standing in the wings
Yes.
like, good job, sweetheart.
Like
Like, this now.
stage
Now
mom
that.
is doing that. She's like, okay,
right.
cool.
And left.
Yeah.
And you're in a movie.
But Carmen is not dancing, but oh gosh, if she'd been dancing with Xander,
She was touching him. She
wouldn't
was
have
all
cared.
up in his lapel. and-
Anytime a girl is talking to a guy and she's laughing and making contact with him, walk away. It's over, dude. It's over. And not only is she chatting and laughing with him, but she's touching him.
Yeah.
And she could have been dancing with him. It wouldn't have mattered. Johnny would have been like, "What's going on right now?
No.
Are we still boyfriend girlfriend?" Right?
Just
Happy, though.
go home and grab a new pair of socks, man.
That's right.
Oh,
Let's wreck some
To
socks.
quote Bill Burr, it's a sweet champagne of victory.
Yeah, but that's the one moment, though, where you're like, oh, man. You just dragged him back in because you're like, hey, my father's not home tonight.
Yeah.
this is what we said she didn't put out. She
There's no
leans in.
evidence.
She leans in and says, "My father's not home tonight. right? And it kind of fades away.
But my mom, grandma, and 2 cousins are.
So do you want to come over for casserole?
What I needed in that moment
We're gonna play Trivial
is a
Pursuit.
shot of him plowing through everybody on that dance floor,
And just dragging her.
just dragging her, right? Like put all those football. Where's the flip 6 3-hole out the door?
We're gonna do it! All this time.
Flip 6 3-hole. We're gonna score right now.
I can flip 6 3-hole. I got her in the 3-hole.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
3 rounds got 3 holes. You stick your fingers in it.
You leave Rebecca out of this, mister.
Just talking about bowling, man. Your future.
And do you think that Doogie likes Diz? Because he walks up to her and starts
Yeah.
dancing with her, and then she's like, "Oh, you."
I think he's just trying to like everyone's saying, flag down Rico. Like, hey, I'm gonna dance with her. Like, hey,
okay.
moron.
Gotcha.
You know,
He's being a good friend.
He's being a
think
good
so.
friend. So he's just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's more like,
No, I hear you. Yeah.
kind of like trying to get his attention. Like,
This one. And then she's even doe-eyeing him while they're dancing. But, yeah. Okay.
We get the little goodbye scene. This is what I mean when the movie really wants you to care about this trio, because the goodbye scene is, hey, I got accepted into Army intelligence or whatever, and I'm going this way, and we'll probably never see each other again. And she's like, I'm got accepted into the fleet. And he's like, I joined up too because I'm a simp. And yeah, that's why
I got
he
in the
joined.
cuck squad.
Seriously, it's the cuck squad.
the gentleman that he goes, I'm infantry, sir. He's
Yeah.
like missing an arm and missing both legs. Made me the man I am today.
That's such a great moment. He's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, and can someone explain to me the
awesome.
robotics of this world? So the teacher had like something going on with her eyes, right?
Right.
And he's got something with his arms,
Yeah.
but he has no legs.
No.
So they haven't created robot legs?
no, because even Ironside later has a robotic arm,
Right.
but no
But they
no
just
one's ever got
stopped
the
at
legs.
the top and just said, we're not creating the bottom?
They can't
Yeah.
figure that part out
Okay.
yet. The bugs showed up, and then they had to pause all that stuff.
Yeah.
The chair was actually the legs they built.
Okay. At least they're rolling.
Pretty cheap pair
At
of
least-
legs. You're doing this. You're trying to get back to your desk.
Yeah.
Can't
They
get
just-
back to your desk.
You gotta
Put
have
2
the-
stumps on it. Those aren't yours.
Those aren't yours.
The chair's your legs, but we want it to look like you had legs.
Did you laugh though? And she's like, "Let's make a pact.
Yes.
We'll always be friends." Like, oh man,
I made
Nail in the
bracelets.
coffin, man.
Nail in the coffin.
Signal flare. That's a signal flare. She doesn't
Right,
like
every
you.
day.
I needed someone to lean over to Rico and just be like, she's talking about you.
Friend zone. You're in the friend zone, sir.
Hey, son in the friend zone here.
Over and out. He's in the friend zone.
Coming in for landing in the friend zone.
And you're not landing between 2 peaks. You're landing
no.
straight.
In the desert. That's where the friend zone is.
You will not be in cruel intentions.
Neil Patrick notices too, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm probably never going to see you again." Yeah. So what the hell? Let's do it.
That's right.
And that was hilarious too. Like, yeah, we're probably never going to see each other again, except for every scene in the movie. I will run into you both many, many, many
all
times.
the
Yeah.
time. There is, if that wasn't cringy enough, if this wasn't enough for Johnny to go, I don't think she's serious about me. He says, I love you to her before they leave. And
I
she
wanted
just,
to crawl
anytime
into my own pocket.
somebody says, I love you, and the other person's like,
Yeah.
you're like,
And then you have to, oh God,
you have
Johnny,
to ask
can you
her.
just say it and try it on for size,
Try it
please? Or just don't do that. Oh God, Johnny, walk away. I was terrible.
Over, man. Just
Yeah.
stop begging.
right.
My God.
Take
I
your
almost
nuts
didn't
out of
see
your
the-
purse.
Yeah, I almost didn't see the second line because my head was in my couch cushion. Yeah, his bat's
And,
rough.
and her delivery of, I love you, like someone had to squeeze it out of her like a Heimlich maneuver.
Like it was a zit. I love you. I popped it.
Don't forget to write, she says, right?
No.
Off she goes.
Why do they call videos writing now?
Yeah, that's
Is that
weird.
how far in the future we
weird.
are?
We get our next commercial. Hey kids, who wants to hold a machine gun?
Handed out shells.
These
was
commercials
ridiculous.
were fun and,
They
and
gave
funny.
them
It's just a
bullets
different
like candy. Too, remember? They're like, here's some bullets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some bullets.
Are and then like the guy from Psych shows up. Are you psychic? Do you want to be or something? I don't know what he says.
And his third eye open.
Think you are, then maybe you are.
His third eye comes up.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Yes. I would
controlling
Desire
this
to
thing?
know more intensifies.
Live murder at 7:00. Would you like to know more?
And then
was that
All
where
channels,
they
remember, all channels are
all
showing
channels.
All channels were, yeah.
it. Yep.
is that where they censored the cow
Yeah,
getting
that's
killed?
the next thing.
Yes.
They send a cow in with a bug.
Yeah.
In which they, I don't know, ordered from Amazon or so. How'd they get the bug to Earth from where they haven't gone to war yet with these things?
Yeah.
They'll send the dude into an electric chair to get a very bad, obnoxious prolapse, but they'll censor the bug eating a cow.
Exactly. They censor the cow, but then the next scene it's like massacre and whatever, and there's just
Yeah, the
bodies
Mormons all
laying
got
everywhere.
killed, right? The,
Yeah.
the
Mormon
Mormons
extremists.
set up a base. They all got slaughtered.
Yeah, and you're like, they'll show this,
Yeah.
which looks like, horrifying,
Right.
but not the cow.
But don't show
can't
us how
show
the
the cow.
burger's made.
That commercial is sponsored
I
by
thought a twister.
commercial is sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Eat more chicken.
I did think a twister. I was like, cow.
Other
I
cow.
thought,
I think that's the same cow.
She did not marry your penis.
all right. We finally get to boot camp with Sergeant Zim.
I'm just gonna say this. I created a new award for this.
Did you?
For this.
For this
I'm
movie?
gonna give it out right now.
Okay, what's the new award?
A man's man award
The Man's Man Award.
Yeah.
is Zim.
Man.
Yes, Zim.
Clancy Brown.
Yep.
I kept waiting for him to say you'll be funny sucking my dick with no teeth, and I kept forgetting that was Shawshank.
Yes.
Yeah.
that he said that in. But
Or he's Grog in Highlander.
yes,
Yes.
with
It's even great in
piercings
John
and
Wick
stuff.
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yep, it's great
Yeah,
in
I
that.
forgot about that. Sim goes through his normal, and this is obviously this society is built on violence, and so it's not like rules in the army in our world. He will literally physically beat the crap out of you. In the before he does something really bad, he's cracking dudes with his nightstick that are not sucking their guts enough, or their arms
Yep.
or legs are hanging out, and he's like,
Put your legs together.
"Now, which one of you thinks you got enough to take me down?" Sir, I do, sir.
Who was that guy?
Did you think
That's
of
the
Major
catcher.
Pain?
The catcher from Major League Two.
Major Pain.
Not a major pain for sure.
I'm sorry for saying that,
No.
but it's just major pain.
Yes. He comes out there. He just gets his arm. He just snaps his tibia like
Yeah.
no problem. And then he says, "Are you okay, son?"
Yeah. Nonchalant.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
my
fine.
arm's broken.
That's right.
I either grew another elbow or my arm's broken.
Medic.
You see this part of my arm. There seems to be other than this. I'm fine.
I have two bends in this one.
He's just lucky he didn't rip out his jugular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you can point left and right with the same arm, it's not good.
And what made you think you could do it? Like, this dude's the badass that's going to teach you to be a badass, and you're like, I could probably kick his ass.
Why would you say yes? I would do it.
Well,
Right.
But the funny thing is, he wasn't even that sure. He says, "I guess maybe I do."
I guess
sir."
maybe I could. Could you break my arm, please? It'd be awesome.
Thank you.
I guess I can birth a gator. Let me try.
If anybody could, it's that guy.
Absolutely.
That guy's definitely wrestled some gators.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clancy or the
No,
other
the guy.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
maybe I do, sir.
Oh, for sure.
That guy.
Yep.
Rube.
Rube. That's his name, Rube? Rube.
From Major League Two.
From Major. Oh, he was. The
That
catcher.
is Rube, yes.
Yeah.
That was the guy that can't stop looking at porn.
Diz.
Was it?
I don't even remember. I just remember he's the catcher.
Diz shows
How he
up.
broke his arm.
I totally just killed the show right there.
You didn't kill the show at all. What
I think that
the hell? You think that killed the show? You've been talking about.
That's the end
Denise
of Bad
Richards.
Movies Rule, everybody. I hope you liked it.
direct momentum. Stop.
There was no momentum. We're talking about the scene. You're good. Diz shows up with her pack, and you specifically requested transfer to this unit. Yes, sir. I heard it was the best, sir.
As she's
I'm chasing Johnny Rico's dick, sir.
Exactly.
True.
God.
And even Rico's like, son of a. Sees
Just
it coming up.
accept it. Just like, all right.
Just get it
The way
on.
that he smiles when
that's
she's got
awful.
a knee on her
Yeah.
face,
Yeah.
and he's just smiling at. I was like,
I think she might have enjoyed it a little.
you
Clancy
don't
said-
deserve her, Rico.
No, he doesn't.
I'm gonna say it constantly.
I keep moving away from the
Like,
table.
she just strips it off and she goes to fight him.
ridiculous. You see her telling, "Do you believe this beautiful chick wants to get with me?" It's so stupid.
What an idiot.
What an idiot.
I would never. I hate
Until my
girls.
teacher tells me to.
This Stone Cold 10 wants to
Wait till you see
Sorry.
Carmen.
wants to come to Poleville, and I'm just like,
Wants to ride the van to the dean.
he's like, "You believe it? Get her again, Sarge."
Yeah.
Stupid. They'll show you to want to sleep with me.
Maybe she's too much of one of the guys. Maybe that's why.
That makes me all
next
the
time.
more hot for her that she literally went one-on-one with a drill sergeant despite the fact that she lost.
Because
I'm
he
like,
said,
boner alert.
Exactly. Zim says, like, what makes you think you're good enough? And she immediately strips down to her sports bra or whatever and's like, all right, we'll fight. And does better than Gator Boy does.
Oh,
She gets a shot.
Right? She does, and at least puts up a little bit of a fight, and then ends up in an arm bar, with her face being kneeled on in the concrete.
At least he had Zim had humility not to do anything.
Not to
for-
snap her arm, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's far too hot for me to do.
I'll just leave a humongous bruise on your neck.
leave it here.
Not so much here or here, more in here.
I already met my quota for snapping women's necks. All right, I'll get off here.
Can't kill another one.
Can't kill another one.
My trunk's full.
Here's the thing. So we get to this. The next scene is they're in the cafeteria, and you see the liquid. I thought that was cool. The liquid cast on Gator Boy's arm.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate Sergeant Zim. I'm like, I wonder why.
He's standing behind him.
He's right behind him.
Right there, yeah. And then here comes Jake Busey's introduction, who cuts the line, and he's like, basically, it was so ham-fisted the way they wanted to just shove his character in. They're like, hey, we're friends now, right? Everybody needs a friend like me, and he plops some food right onto Rico's tray, and I guess you and me could be buddies. He says, or whatever. It's just like the most
Shows up teeth first.
teeth.
His buck teeth are, oh man.
No one's ever looked more like somebody's kid than Jake Busey looks like
Oh,
Gary
for
Busey's kid.
sure. Yeah.
Like, you couldn't even told me what his name was, and I'd be like, that's Jake Busey, or that's Gary
That's a
Busey's
Busey.
kid.
Yeah.
I know his last name for sure.
Yeah, 100%. The only movie I think I'd ever seen him in before Starship Troopers was The Frighteners.
I love The Frighteners.
and he's
Yeah.
the psycho in that movie and is great.
Johnny Bart.
He's in Bottle
Yeah.
Rocket, I think, too.
Is he? I don't know if I ever saw
Pretty
Bottle
sure
Rocket.
he's in Bottle Rocket.
I'm a fan of Jake Busey.
Yeah.
I like him. I wish he was in more stuff.
I thought they were setting him up to be a jerk.
Yeah,
But
but
like,
not
that's
at all.
my job. And then he cuts the line, and then I was just like, let's be friends.
Well, he wants to be squad leader. There's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
momentary rivalry between the two of them
Yeah.
because Johnny wants to be the Rico wants it. He wants it. Whatever.
But Johnny gives him the 1,000-yard stare, and he goes, "Oh, never mind. I'll just go behind you."
Yeah. So Diz comes up or tries to sit with him while they're eating or whatever, right? And what's your malfunction, Rico?
You can't sit here.
Such a dick.
Seats taken.
Yeah.
Can't sit here.
Right.
I'm mad because you followed me here.
Yeah.
I joined the army to get away, and you had to tag along. So you think I joined the mobile infantry because of you?
Yes.
You so obviously did. You didn't just join the mobile infantry. You joined the whole damn military for him. She wasn't talking about going into the military when they were all leaving. She was going to go do, I don't know, be a nurse or do something, whatever she wanted to do. We never got that backstory. Everyone else was like, this is what I want to do.
No.
You definitely joined the military for him.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you? Is she honestly trying to put off? Like, I literally just came here because I heard it was the best. Bullshit.
Bless you.
Okay, it's ridiculous. This is the
Nasty
one
cold
time I was
going
like, this is the one time I was like, okay, Diz, like, come on, yes.
Thirst. You're so thirsty. Did you get some more drinks? Because you're very thirsty.
There's another brief scene that I want to mention when they're doing the knife throwing,
So dope.
Yeah.
and Jake Busey's like, he can't do it, and he's like, what good's a knife in a nuke fight, sir? All you got to do is press a button. Put your hand on that wall, Private.
Do you want me to set it on there exactly how you could throw a knife at it? Because I'm just going to randomly do that.
It's exactly what he did. And Clancy Brown not only flips that thing up, catches it perfectly, and chucks it like a badass.
Yes.
Just right into his palm.
Oh yeah. I would. It seems like you're gonna throw a knife at me if I put my hand on this wall. So I don't really. Are you sure you want me to put your hand on that wall? Okay, but you're not gonna throw that knife.
Fine. He just is going to walk around with his hand in a jar of Kool-Aid after that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but and he's like, if you disable his hand, he can't push a button. I'm
I
like,
like
we're
that
fighting
line.
bugs.
Yes.
They don't have hands or buttons.
You got to throw 6 knives at the same time
Yeah.
and get all 6 of their legs. Oh, crap. Now they can't push their bug nukes
Yeah.
or shoot rocks out of their ass or whatever
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
that they do.
It's not like the guns did much good anyway against the bugs.
Oh, no.
Carmen uses a
Ass
knife on that
spores, don't
bug.
forget.
Oh, she does. What's that, Josh?
Don't forget all the birth spores they also shoot out.
Oh,
of their
yeah,
ass,
that's
too.
right. Don't forget
Yeah.
about that.
That
Need
when,
a lot of knives.
when she uses that knife too, we're jumping way ahead. I wanted him to come in and throw the knife.
Yes.
How cool would that have been?
Right.
Yep.
Here we get the scene that was the most paused by Bob Hauser, the shower.
Yes.
A lot of socks gone.
His DVD no longer worked.
No,
It
that
skips over this part.
the sleeve wouldn't go back on the tape.
There's a colony inside that VHS cover now.
Oh God.
Yeah, I sent it back to Video Empire to get clean.
No.
Scott was pissed.
But I rewound it.
And the shower scene is just for them to basically talk about all the things they want to do, why they joined the army, right? I want to have babies. I want to be a politician, and I got to serve and be a citizen in order to do that, right? And how about you? And they're all talking about, until they get to Rico. And Rico's like, why are you so nosy? Shut up.
Again, he's being a dick.
Yeah, being a dick. And Diz is the one that says, oh, him? He joined because of a girl. And they're all like, ooh. Yeah. Like she didn't do the same damn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't me, but he joined for a girl.
Right?
But then they ask her, was it you? And she's like,
Maybe.
No,
Maybe.
it wasn't.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
but she believes it.
Yeah.
Maybe later in this movie, he might.
The next scene is he's shooting a video to send to Carmen, and everyone's being ridiculous in the background of it. And the one thing I loved about this is the one guy, the Hispanic guy that pulls his ass out on the video. His ass was already red from smacking it in previous takes. You see when he pulls it out and he smacks his own ass a bunch of times?
I didn't look
But
that hard.
It's
but I appreciate
right
you guys.
in the middle of the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was James' assignment. We sent out visual things.
It was. I'm like, bro, how many times did this guy have to spank his ass on camera before
You don't
they're
have
like,
to hit it that hard.
it's good enough, man.
Yeah.
It's good enough. That thing, one side was fine. I carefully analyzed this man's ass.
I printed this out so you could all see.
And I have
I brought a
pictures.
handout.
And you guys should have got the one I texted you photographs.
Nope. Yep.
I did not get
That
that
was
one.
his?
Perfect.
It was just ham.
Finally, we're out of the army base for a while because we're going up to the fleet where we have Carmen racing Amy Smart to their shuttle to get to the big ship. And I don't know if I'd forgotten she was in this, or at the time I
did.
just didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is Amy Smart doing in this movie?
Yeah.
She's way hotter to me than Denise Richards.
I didn't even notice it was her in this scene. Not till
Yeah.
the very end where they're like, and then this person was like, she's in the last 5 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
No, it's her in this scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the rewatch.
It's her
Road
there
trip?
on the
Was
race.
she in Road Trip?
Yep.
She's in Rat Race.
Road trip, rat race.
Rat Race.
Great comedy.
Love her in that movie. She was
Crank.
in Just Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just friends.
Just Friends with she was Jamie Palomino.
You want to come sing a song about the birth of our Lord?
Dinkelman.
Dinkelman.
He skis in his jeans.
He's kissing his cheek.
All right.
Forgiveness means I'm sorry.
The whole point of this is she's getting to fly the big ship, and she's going to be the number 2. And like, well, who's the number 1? Who's the flight instructor? And the chair turns around, and it's Xander,
It's Dollar General Rob Lowe.
who is her age, right?
Yes, absolutely.
If you say so.
But they both just graduated.
Yeah.
They were both in prom together. He played on the same football team. How is he her flight instructor?
How did he get ahead of her in school if they went at the same time?
Well, they said time had passed too, that she was through the academy, he tells her. And it's like, so how much time?
Not that much time. He's still
No.
in. Rico's still in boot camp.
Yeah.
It can't even have been a year because
No.
the movie started.
And said 1 year.
It said
You're
1 year
right.
earlier.
So we know it's less than a year.
For sure.
So academy is 6 months?
Probably less.
If that.
Okay.
Dogs and cats living together.
I knew,
Mass hysteria.
I knew he was freaking old. I
Yeah,
knew he
he
was.
is,
Like, as soon as he came on the flight instructor, I was like, "You freaking pedo! You were 21 jump streeting this school in Buenos Aires,
Yep.
looking for flight students that you could mac on because you're like, well, once I heard there was a crazy pilot coming up through the ranks, good with the stick. Then I made sure that I was over here.
It had to be that
He
set of cans.
profiled and groomed girls in high school, and then he made sure he was in the room with her.
It's
And played football.
Okay, no research, but just take that as the truth.
So you want me not to?
We can confirm
Han.
Xander was a pedophile.
And then it's not even this scene, but he's like, 3 weeks in Starfleet, and you think you can lick my navs?
Oh, what now?
No reason.
Oh my god.
All right, before we get too far about licking nabs, Bob, how old was he?
So Patrick Muldoon, who plays Xander.
His name is Patrick Muldoon.
Patrick Muldoon, currently 56 right now. So it's 1968. So he was
60.
30.
No, he's not 29.
No,
He was 29. in
okay, sorry, it's
97.
29. And then Denise Richards was born in 71.
Okay, so he's 5 years. She was 5 years younger than him. in
Yeah, about
real
that.
life.
In real life, about 4 or 5 years.
She's 24. He's 29. Bro, but look, you guys ever go look at old people in the 80s and 90s? Like, There's like pictures of people, and I'm like, oh, was this dude 70 in this picture? Like, no, he's 35 years old. That's like people just looked older back then.
The 80s were hard on people.
That's what I'm saying.
Cocaine was a hell of a drug.
So are we saying he was a government mole that used his?
Yes,
Yeah,
That's what we're
used his
saying.
ability to just get girls,
something.
basically.
Yeah, he was a recruitment.
Because he was clearly 30 in high school.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. He's out there trying to find who the hottest chicks with the best math scores were.
And the craziest ones
the craziest ones.
for piloting.
Before we move on from her backing out this big ass ship out of the space dock, where she has to turn like it's a freaking car and almost scrape the edge like it's Galaxy Quest.
No.
There's nothing but space behind
Yeah.
you.
What are you doing?
Why are you turning?
Why do you have to turn out of your space?
You're like, and it's supposed to be like you're a good pilot, but no, I'm like, you're an idiot. Just back up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look at that angle, she hits it.
100%
No way.
she hits it.
No way.
100%.
She hit that thing.
But as I'm watching the angle, I just, for some reason, just look to the background and there's just freaking nothing back there. There's not a Frito-Lay's space truck out there or anything. Do you know
Well,
what
it's
I'm
the same
saying?
thing with the asteroid. How big is space?
It's true. Also, it's called space. There's nothing but space. Back your stupid ship out in a straight line.
Women drivers, am I right?
Oh, no.
Hey.
Hey-o.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
And here come the feminists.
Back to laser tag in army camp. And this,
I would love to play this game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like shock
great.
ball or like paintball, but shock ball.
it's not like laser tag where it doesn't hurt. These people get straight up electrocuted
Oh, it looks so much
when
fun.
they get shot.
I don't understand why everything in training camp is for fighting other humans.
Yeah. Not one thing teaches them how to fight a bug.
Nothing. None of
Can
it.
I point out the biggest flaw in the movie? The helmets.
Oh.
They're awful. You can't
terrible.
see the entire movie. Every time when they're running, they're down over their eyebrows.
Well, that's what happened.
Every
well, not
single
yet, but
time.
Yes. It's ridiculous. And they're basically, him and Diz end up trapped behind a barricade. And she's like, we're going to flip the 6-3 hole and you can score. And she wasn't talking about laser tag. And he didn't he's like, oh, good idea, Diz. And she starts to take her top off and he just runs around the corner and does
Where'd
a
you go?
flip. And she's like, oh, crap, he's doing the football thing. And then she has to keep fighting.
Yeah, he hippity hop foos into the middle of that scene, and then for some reason that works. I don't know why the other
There
one
was a ramp there, but it was supposed to be there.
That was supposed to be there that
right.
time. He's like, it's perfect. There's already a ramp and everything. And he starts double fisting the two guns and just shooting at everybody.
son of a bitch.
That's right. Mows down everyone. Kid's got moves. Give him a squad. See what he does with it. Okay. Now he's the squad
immediately
leader.
screws it up.
Here, and this is when it begins the trend
Yeah.
that Josh told me about yesterday.
Yep.
Well, and Diz and Rico make up after this. He says, I couldn't have done it without you. Friends, they shake hands. It's an important
She's like, yes, I get it.
I guess.
Stop making me say it.
Diz coming in for a landing in the friend zone.
Couldn't come and land for the friend zone. There's an incoming message from Carmen. Incoming message.
Yeah,
I think it's a breakup message here. Do you really think you might want to abort the friend zone with this? Abort. He's not listening, sir. I think he's gone rogue.
Carmen is in her room. Carmen's in her room. He sends the video to Johnny. And
She acts all sexy in the first half.
she's like, hey, Johnny.
Hey.
She's
Takes a
walking
big step
around
back.
and the thing is following her. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Xander's filming this
Oh, yeah.
video.
Yep. Yeah, because it's moving
Who's
along
doing the
with
camera
her.
work? That's
Yep.
what I'm saying. I'm
I thought it
like,
was
Johnny,
a smart wall.
don't ask.
I thought it was a smart wall.
I thought she was at the ring doorbell. The ring doorbell.
Don't ask.
Isn't
Which
this
I do step back at the ring doorbell.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Johnny's like,
my
who's doing
good
this
side.
tracking shot? It's really good.
John Carpenter.
It's Xander going, now do the part where you break up with him.
Johnny, can you see my knees? Okay, good. Listen, we gotta talk.
She starts fake crying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work out for me and you, Johnny. I think I'm going to go career. It's not going to leave a lot of time for us. I know it's not what you wanted to hear. But write me so I know we'll always be friends.
He's so mature
And
for a
then she
19-year-old.
hits her knees.
He's so mature.
Xander's like,
So
zip.
mature.
You should have heard a little snicker right before it cut off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
Like, okay,
who
Johnny,
was that?
I gotta go.
I would have turned right around and be like, hey, Diz.
Yeah.
Score on me. I'll
Diz
score
sees
your
the
girl.
whole thing. And she's like,
Now,
you just friend zoned me.
Hey, Diz, remember that friend thing? I was just kidding.
Come back.
to Ace's credit, okay, everyone else kind of meanders away because they feel bad. Ace stands there and he says, it's funny how they always want to be friends right after they rip your guts out.
That's one of my favorite lines of that movie.
Yeah.
There's like so many good lines,
There's
but that was
many
one
good
of them.
ones. And he says, hey, you still got me to kick around. And I'm like, that was the moment I switched from thinking he was just annoying to being like, all right, Ace is a good dude.
Yeah, he's got his back.
Got his
One thing didn't make sense. He's like, well, I joined for her. And he's like, what? No, you got squad leader because of you. I'm like, that's not what I was
Both
saying.
of those things could be true.
Yeah.
Like you joined for her, definitely, and you got squad leader because of
I
you.
mean, we all done stupid things for women.
Yeah. Well,
Not me.
oh my God.
All right, I guess I done stupid things for women.
No, for sure.
I'm pretty sure I've done mostly stupid things for women.
All right, what we got here now is a live fire exercise. Why?
From Dean Norris.
Right.
Why?
We need an opportunity to kill some of you, so we're going to give you actual bullets for this one.
To shoot mannequins that were like Jello mold cutouts of not bugs,
Green Army men.
of Green Army men come out.
We hate Toy Story.
Sorry, oh, sir.
The best time is whatever. I expect you to do better. Like they got to reset these freaking mannequins because they blow them to crap every time they come up. It's just the whole thing makes no sense. Why we're using live ammunition? And sure enough, the helmet comes into play because Gator Boy is like, I can't see. It must be because I'm big and dumb or whatever. And they're all arguing. And
He was
Johnny
a
goes,
gator boy.
But no one could see out of him. That
He
was
said,
my
"See you
problem.
later, boy."
Yeah.
He said, "I guess maybe I do, sir."
But then you broke my arm and did a lot of harm. Now
All right.
I'm getting my head blown off.
You made a point yesterday, Josh. I think we're talking to Bob that anytime Johnny Rico is in charge,
Yeah,
people get killed.
every single time.
Every
no matter
single time.
what rank he gets, someone has to die for his commendation.
Yes. And so in this case, it's Gator Boy.
Yep.
And he gets domed. The girl that wanted to be the politician, the black girl, I don't remember what her name is, comes over and gets shot by one of these lasers and electrocuted because they still got the laser tag vests on. Why in the frickety frick would you be like, let's electrocute people that are holding
Live
weapons?
Right.
Because they're not going to make their trigger finger go when you get electrocuted?
No.
The whole thing makes no sense. So she falls down going, and just domes Gator Boy.
I paused it a couple times, like, I got to watch it. Ooh,
Yeah, slow-mo.
that don't look good.
From the dummy to special effects.
Yeah.
And his helmet being on or off wouldn't have saved him.
No, he caught that in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that from like
100%.
direction.
Boom, right in the eye.
underneath.
And he goes, medic!
Bro,
I think it's a little late.
The medic runs over. He's like, yeah.
Oh, there's nothing you could have done. Like Vegas vacation.
No
All he
one
wanted.
screams. No one anything. The very next line after medic is, Rico, you're relieved of your duties.
That's right.
We do not care.
Stupid. We don't have a big enough jar of Kool-Aid for this. I don't.
The medic shows up and goes, "Oh my god!" Second time this week.
That's right.
Second time this week. Yeah, you should have seen the last poor fella.
Should have seen that.
Shot him in the ass, bladdered all over the place.
He walks up and goes, yuck.
I hate this job.
That janitor deserves his own movie.
We gotta stop giving these guys real guns in training.
Seriously.
I am running out of mops.
Dean Norris gets pissed off. He's in the movie for 5 minutes. I just love that he was in there. Though.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's basically says,
You Walter White.
we've already lost. Yeah, we've already lost 2 people to this. No reason. Is this guy salvageable? And Clancy Brown.
It wasn't her fault.
No,
She
you see her walking down the washout.
natural
Oh,
reaction.
She pauses right at the window. Oh, it's sad.
Right. I'm like, why is she?
Feel bad.
Why is she being punished for this? You guys are the one that introduced electric.
I think she quit.
Yeah,
No, I
that'd be
think
my
she
impression.
quit.
She's like, I'm
Yeah.
out of here.
How dare you shoot someone when we shoot you with electricity while you're holding a gun?
You think that she just like, I'm out?
Yeah,
That's what I
she
assumed.
quit.
I mean, I would
She
probably
killed
say the
someone.
same thing. Like, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
My
I'm gonna,
political career's over after
for
I blew
sure.
someone's head off.
I'm gonna go scoop ice cream.
Right.
Because
There's no
that
way.
sucked.
You're getting
Old Stone's
confirmed after
hiring.
you've shot somebody
I
in the
didn't
face.
understand that they could leave either, because in the beginning they're doing the vow or whatever,
Yeah.
the reciting
Yeah.
the pledge, and they're like, for at least 2 years.
That's right.
Is part of it, and then they're like, if you want to leave, it's just right over here.
That's
just
right.
gotta walk
you
down
sign
this
your
aisle.
1040
No big
or whatever, and you walk on washout lane, right? Yeah, that whole thing. But I guess they're all free to leave whenever they want to. I don't know. He
2
gets
years
administrative
or
president.
whenever you
And the administrative president, the administrative punishment is being whipped, basically. Not a laser whip like I anticipated it, but like
Oh,
an
like Masters of the
actual-
Universe?
Yeah.
I thought it was a laser whip at first.
No, it's just a straight up bull whip.
Yeah, no,
Looks
it's
good, though.
Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Meanwhile, up in space, this is where you think you can lick my nabs while they're trying to figure out. They're like flirting while they're trying to fly through an asteroid field or
I
something.
bought you a roofie cup of coffee bean coffee. It's French vanilla semen.
It's definitely
Fresh
nothing in
vanilla.
there.
2 weeks
sorry, pumpkin
together, and you
spice.
think you know my coffee order? I already know how to lick your nabs.
Yeah, some coffee to keep you up. I mean, go to sleep.
And
I can't
the captain comes in and like, just get a room.
Yeah.
Over the intercom. Get a
Gosh,
room.
yeah, it is steamy. You know what I want.
That's right.
I can anticipate everything you need.
That's right.
Skin and Max.
Yeah, that is the conversation.
Yeah.
they have.
We're good together.
We're good together. And she's like, yeah, we are. And they go to almost kiss, and then all of a sudden, asteroid coming in. This is the asteroid that's on its way to Buenos Aires. They almost, they're able to, navigate around it, get out from underneath it, or whatever. But the ship's too tall. The communication
Poor
tower.
bastards that lived at the top
Yeah.
of that tower.
That was
I got the suite.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Mom, I'm living the high life now. Hey, Mom, what's going on? What's that behind you, sweetie?
yeah.
Finally made it to the top of the tower. Mom.
I'm living the good life at the top of the ship.
And somebody told me being the radio guy was never going to pay off.
Yeah.
And isn't
'Cause
this the
that's where
thing in so many
communications are.
action movies that it just happens to be the radio tower, the thing that's blown
Yeah.
up? Just happens
Exactly.
to
Well,
be.
that's because after this, they're like, warn everybody. It's gonna be like, we can't. That was the communications tower.
Funny enough, the one part that fell off. Yeah. So it ends up, that's where we talk to people.
That's where Mike and the radio were. We had just told him he could finally get up there. He bugged us for months, and we put him up there.
And they no sell it. They're like, all right, moving
Yeah,
on.
she's like not even mad about it. We didn't get lucky. We got a hell of a flight team, and they all Mentos commercials.
Just took out like 3, 4.
But again, it's space. She couldn't go around.
No, right, or
about
any 360 direction
down?
you wanted to.
Yeah.
Straight down.
What's this? Yeah, straight down. Like, down.
What are you going to hit?
Nothing. That's space.
But she's the best.
So good on the stick. That's what they say.
She almost got it.
Emergency maneuver. Ready. Oh, geez. Okay, we'll lift this up and then break
Well, and
this
how about
thing,
the glass
and then
thing that
let's
she had to
count it
break
down
with
from
her
10.
fist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was
Can we design that better? Slices her wrist and dies when she tries to break the emergency button.
We should start using plastic for that. We gotta.
We could actually just leave it in the open if it's going to save our
Like
lives.
even in Last Starfighter, they just had the big button with the reds, the stripes across it. That was just like, don't ever touch this.
But that's your save your life button. That
Right.
should be right in here, right
there.
in front of your face.
Like headbutt.
Right after this, we see Rico's going to go down Washout Lane, and he has a phone call with his parents.
yeah.
I'm like laughing. They're about to get murdered.
awesome.
But he's like, oh, son, no, don't even worry about any of that. So you just come on home, man. It'd be great. I'm sorry I didn't have what it takes, Mom and Dad. Well, what's going on? It must be rain.
It's kind of weird for rain this time of year.
Well, sure, it's dark.
It's getting dark outside. Hey,
Really quick.
what's going on out here? Why is Princess Leia's family here all of a sudden?
We're just going to hang out with
Ewoks.
Where is Bruce Willis to take care of this?
Jimmy Smith and I were just
Right.
I don't want to fall asleep.
Because I miss you, baby, dead.
Oh my gosh. He's never been in a rainstorm. He's like, oh, I think this is rain. I've
like
never seen
rain.
It's
like-
sunny as frick outside.
Us Republicans, we don't get rain down here.
That's right.
I'm
We're too
boycotting this.
rich for rain.
Too rich for rain.
I'm going to sign an executive order right now to get rid of rain in Buenos Aires. The only South American town full of white people
Okay.
with
I think-
Hispanic names.
I think now's a good time because you brought it up.
I wanted to bring it up the whole time.
Anytime people talk about Starship Troopers, they talk about it as, well, the people that like this movie don't understand that it's really a big political commentary and an allegory and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't care.
No.
Yeah.
I don't, big guns shoot bugs. I don't care that it's like, well, you see, they're Nazis. That's why they're whites in Buenos Aires, because they all came over to South America. And it's actually like if the Nazis ran the world and the bugs are the Jews. And that's why they say the only good bug is a dead bug. And that's why they dress like SS officers and all this. And like,
And if my
violence is
uncle
good.
had tits, he'd be my aunt. It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm
Big
saying.
guns shoot. Did not get the bugs dead.
I
Who
don't give a
cares?
crap.
Right.
And I don't care if like I'm a simpleton for liking this movie because I ignore all of that crap. I just treat it for what it is, which is Space Marines shooting bugs.
Yeah.
And I don't give a crap what kind of message Paul Verhoeven was trying to say.
Verhoeven goes, hey, you know what? I wrote this really great politically charged script. Can we get Denise Richards?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll play devil's
just
advocate
ruined
on
it.
this.
Okay, yes.
So Paul Verhoeven, I guess it was in occupied Holland because I did a deep dive into this movie.
And that's fine.
So this is, but the Starship Troopers was originally a book from Robert Heinlein.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of he said, she said about his liberties he took with the book. Because book, apparently the book's not really like that, but
Verhoeven did it.
But we don't know. There's two sides to every story.
And
The
that's
truth's
fine.
in the
And
middle.
I'm not saying he's the artist. He wants to
Right.
do that. That's fine. A work of art isn't complete until it interacts with its audience. And
Yeah.
the audience can decide how they want to
feel about it.
how they want to
Subjective.
ingest it, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if that's what he did for him, and that's the art piece he wanted to make, great. I don't have to care. And so the people that say, well, this movie can only be interpreted and understood this way, and if you
Right.
like it,
It can only be good
can only be
if
good.
you understand
Yes.
this blank. Whether it's Harry
Right.
Potter or this. And RoboCop had this shit.
yeah.
Yeah, RoboCop
Like,
was a huge
All of these
political commentary movie.
yeah.
There's tons of action movies like this that
Right.
have this stuff in it. And that's fine.
Escape
if that's
from-
what helps you enjoy it, that's
Sure.
great.
Escape
but that
from New
doesn't
York.
mean that you're an idiot
Right.
if you don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. And you're like, well, if you cheer for Rico and those guys, those are actually the bad guys. And I'm like, I don't care.
no.
I don't care.
And in this is Vietnam because we didn't understand the enemy. And
Yeah. Right. So that's great. I'm not. If that's the way you enjoy the movie,
Mm-hmm.
great. But the people that want to gatekeep and be like, "Well, you don't really get Starship Troopers," you can kiss my ass.
I would
Those are the
always say
people with
this.
one point of view, and if you don't like it, then you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, why can't we just have a discussion about it?
Yeah, let's have a discussion about it. So I always like now thinking that I'm like, if you want to get the real answer, read the book,
That's fine.
read the source material.
And if you don't want to get the real
Right,
answer,
if you
that's
don't,
fine too.
you can
Just
enjoy the movie.
the bug movie.
Enjoy
with
the bug
boobs
movie.
in it. That's great.
Yes!
Just
Yes.
don't enjoy it for that.
Enjoy it for what it is.
You know what,
I didn't pay attention to that stuff when I was a kid when I watched it. When I was 10, 11 years old. I didn't care about. I didn't realize the SSS uniforms or all that stuff. So I guess maybe I'm a simpleton moron.
I don't
know.
Yeah.
I didn't care. But watching it like a couple days ago, I'm like noticing everything because like I said, I deep dived into it, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel when I'm watching this. And then I had to take myself out of it. Like, wait, this is an action film. This is just an action movie. Why am I I'm looking at this through political lenses where I'm instead of looking at this through entertainment lenses. So I literally had to restart the film and watch it for what it was.
That's good.
Like the way I did when I was like younger. Like,
Right.
We don't
But you
care.
can have that, and you can
Yeah.
watch it, and you can have that stuff in the back of your head, and be like, "That's cool," or "That's not cool," or whatever. But just because you either decide to ingest that or don't at all,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that the movie's any better or worse for
No,
it.
exactly.
Right.
For you or them or whoever.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this probably jumped up in score too, is a lot of people were like, "Oh, now I understand what they're doing here.
Right.
Here's a couple more points in the score." Or they said, "Oh, here's what they're doing, and I don't give a damn.
Right.
So here's a couple more points
Right.
on the score."
There you go.
Either way, it's your watch it for.
But I like dumb things, and I don't mind. I don't feel like I'm less intelligent or worthy of an opinion because I'm a simply entertained person. Like I just like people that are running and screaming at the same time. That's why some of my favorite stuff in Twister is them running and yelling at each other. Like right here, when he comes out to go to Washout Lane and they all start running, like everyone's
Right.
running. He's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "War! We're going to war!" As he's running.
2 minutes after the his parents went, "It's dark outside. War! We're going to war!"
Right.
I believe I cut you off, Brian. I'm sorry. You're
Oh,
going to
no,
say
no.
something.
Yeah.
You were just talking about the source material, and maybe that's what it was with the script, right? But I really think, in terms of the entertainment, putting this movie together, if I had to guess, the source material was actually early reality TV show.
Yeah.
right. They were talking about Real House, or what were those first ones where they all grouped together in a house?
Oh,
and had
Real
to live
Housewives
together?
and
Real World.
Big Brother.
Real World.
Big Brother.
Real World.
Real World,
Real
yeah.
World.
Big
yes.
Brother, right? Yeah. God, I got those vibes more than anything from this movie. Where it's like, we're
Yes.
going to war. All right, dude, come on, let's go.
And then the confessional, war's bad, right?
Yeah.
These guns might be a little too big, but who am I to say?
Didn't you feel like that in the bunks too?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
like
a little bit.
Can we talk about the set design for the visual effects and the amount of time, the costumes and everything?
Everything
like
looked great, except for the
gun,
helmets.
Except the
the gun, except for what?
The helmets. Other than that,
Yeah, the helmets.
Yeah.
But the just the way everything was designed, how it was
The armor,
the armor
everything
on the
looked great.
guns, like they had to make all these cool crap for the guns to
Yeah.
modify them and everything.
That's why I
Well, and to
said the
what
B
you're
was
saying,
for budget.
Oh, sorry. So what you were saying, that's why it got nominated for Academy Award. We're talking about like a B movie back then, what James was saying earlier, that this was just a B movie that everyone hated. But you know what? It's done well, and it literally got an Academy Award nomination.
And eventually cream rises. I mean, that's what's going to happen. So
Cream rises to the top.
over time, like check in with a movie 20 years later. There are movies that were lauded when they came out, and 20 years later, no one cares or talks about them. And then there's things that just stick around, like Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And that's...
And Yentl.
Yeah, exactly.
That one Academy Award.
can you hear me?
So it turns out Buenos Aires is gone, okay? Thousands dead, thousands more wounded. They got fire on the screen, you know.
And it's just a running tally, like the budget.
Just
like,
going up.
Goddamn bugs whacked us, Johnny.
Yeah, she gets right next to him, trying to grope him.
Yeah, tries to grope him. That's that's home, Johnny.
And that
That's
face
us.
just...
Is that us?
Making a sound.
Do you think if maybe I put my hand on your pants, it would help at all?
It would make you feel better about all our families being dead.
Would a quick HJ make this hurt less for you?
What is it about a good ashtray that wipes out my family and gets me really wet?
Diz, read the barracks.
I love Dina. I don't mean to talk dirty about her character. I love Dina Meyer and what she brought to the character.
100%.
So I just enjoy the role.
I think I said the same thing about her in Dragonheart. There's so many girls that, and this maybe if this comes across sexist, I don't mean it to, that get cast in movies where they have to be a badass, and I don't buy it for a second. But same thing in Dragonheart, and with her in this movie, I believed it immediately.
110%.
We're almost there to where they get tattoos, but all four of them put their arms on. I'm pretty sure she was bigger than the rest.
She was.
Yeah.
She was. I'm like, guys, do some push-ups, man. You're in the military.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a snack from the military on this video. So
That's fine.
I'm sure you guys do wonderful push-ups.
They do. They're actors. They're not even in the military.
Yeah,
What are you
I know.
talking about? Yeah.
That's true.
So he wants back in. Rico, obviously, now he can go home, to live in a crater, in a tent? Which I guess he could do that, but he's like, I want back in now, right? This your signature? You signed you released, you're on Washout Lane. He's like, my home was in Buenos Aires, man, and Sergeant Zim tears up his form.
Is this your signature, Rico? Yes, sir. Don't look like it to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Carry on, Private.
there's almost a throwaway scene that happens right before this where Breaking Bad guy says
Dean
to Zim,
Norris.
if you want to get out of this position, you're going to have to get busted down to private.
He wants to go to combat.
He wants to go to combat. And they're like, no, we need you to train these guys. If you want to do that, you got to become private.
That's
which
important.
comes back later.
Everybody got that?
Barely. But forced. It's shoved down your throat out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everything's right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dean Norris, did I say it right? Dean Norris?
Yeah, Dean Norris who
Yeah,
plays
he
the.
must have got his teeth fixed eventually because I never noticed all those chips on the bottom of his front teeth.
Oh, yeah.
It was like really distracting to stare. Like,
Yes.
what?
You're watching
What were
Lethal.
you chewing on?
He's one of the officers in Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had the poker game and stuff. Yeah, I noticed too.
So this is where we get our third now set of commercials, and this is the one where like,
Oh my God.
only good bug is a dead bug. We're like standing next to a dead dog. Yeah.
The close up on the dead dog.
Yep. They're
Smiley to go-
smashing actual cockroaches, it looked like. Yeah.
That was
You can do your part at home, and the kids are. These poor bugs were like, "What the frick?"
That teacher. That teacher's...
Yeah, the teacher, the mom. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, these bugs didn't shoot an asteroid out of their ass.
Right. Yeah.
Why are you attacking me?
Can we just keep this to the humongous monster bugs and not just any bug?
Those are the spores.
That's right.
Those are the spores that got thrown onto the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, when they shoot the space jizz in the sky, that's just a bunch of little cockroaches that then land on the planet, and then you got to step on
Right.
it.
In about 1 million years, these things are going to wreak havoc on your planet.
They get huge.
They get
Pretty soon you're falling through the street.
That's exactly it. Sky
And then-
Marshal Dean or whatever shows up, and he's like, "We going?
Yeah.
We going?"
And then in those commercials too, Doogie shows up and says,
Yeah.
"Here's how you kill him. If you shoot a leg off, not so much.
Still
but
combat
go
efficient.
go for the stem of the brain of these things." And no one listens.
No
to
one-
that
Nobody.
in the whole
They're
movie.
just spraying.
They're spraying all over.
It's just like, "Ah!"
There are some bugs that take 5 soldiers unloading entire clips.
I was going to say this. Yes.
We'll go
Yeah.
for it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but then other times it's like this is where you're going, but the other times there's one person and a couple bullets be like, oh, got that one.
Got that one.
That one's done.
I must have hit the red spot in the video game where it's like you hit right here and they die right away, but the rest of it you still shoot.
There's one, they're backing one bug down, 5 of them at the same time, down a hill, and it takes forever.
Well, any bug that hurts someone, It's a bullet sponge, but
Yes.
the rest of them, they just go, I got you and you and you.
Some go down easier than others, but they're all the same
Changing the
looking.
difficulty
Right.
on a video game. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Easy, legend, insanity.
While they're on like some main ship where all the people are together, they're all shipping out probably across the galaxy at this point. It's where they get their tattoos and whatnot. But while they're there,
Which, speaking of reality TV shows, how Cancun spring break is this? They just blew up your home. Your parents are dead, and you're like, "Whoa, yeah, hoo-ah." Slack their heads and like, "Let's get tattoos, man."
yeah,
And there's the
very
reporter, initially at least, is like,
yeah. Spirits
These-
seem high.
yeah,
out here.
spirits seem high and blah, blah, blah. And Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
And then Rico comes running up and goes, the only good bug is a dead
Well,
bug.
that's because the reporter goes, some say we should live and let live is
Yeah.
the best policy.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say, kill them all. All right, let's go to Senior Frogs.
Right.
There's bubbles in the pool.
Guys, look, there's
Body shots are on me.
right.
Yeah.
Look, there's not a line of bubblegum shrimp.
Bubblegum shrimp and potato, shrimp stew.
Stuff, dude.
How did I end up in this spaceport?
Carmen, you run into your ex-girlfriend on this ship. Okay. So this is the first of many
You know, she looks
Probably
like a
never
penis
seen
with a
her.
little hat on.
What's that?
She calls out to
calls
him.
out to him, right?
From like 2 rooms over.
Yeah.
Johnny Rico.
Everyone's screaming, but he can hear her.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who's with Carmen but Xander?
The videographer.
And he's like, oh, I get it. And she's like, she tries to play it off like, oh, no, this was my friend.
We just didn't know.
That's just my friend. We were just in.
Like she did with Johnny to this dude during the
This
football
dude.
game. No
Right.
one matters to Carmen because
Not
she
anybody.
sucks.
Frickin' Xander picks a fight with Rico. Okay, he's like, rank doesn't matter. I want everybody to hear this. I got to talk about this fight scene. Xander gets frickin' rocked.
He is rocked.
In one shot.
Second he drops, no rank.
Yeah.
Superman punch.
He goes like, what? What's he gonna do? And then, but then to Xander's credit, he goes
Suplex.
Avon
Yeah.
suplexes him onto a table, drops 2 hammer fists on his abdomen, and then goes with a big elbow drop.
Yes.
all in
Then
a
get
row. I was like,
kneed in the
damn.
face.
Catches the knee to the nose. Yeah.
Xander went crazy in
Yeah.
this. He got the better of Johnny in this fight.
I mean,
you
he's
see
only
in his
19. He knows how to fight, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the freaking and the look. If you go back and watch, because everybody pays attention to the hand when this is happening, but look at Xander's face when he's hammer fisting.
He looks
That sounds
insane.
bad to say. He looks like the craziest person that's ever existed.
Yes.
While he's just pile driving
Yep.
his elbow into Johnny Rico on this table.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I wish they didn't break it up.
Yeah,
I want
right?
more of that.
Because
Right.
then Johnny doesn't get a chance to retaliate.
And
at
who
that point.
breaks it
They all-
up?
Diz.
Diz comes
Diz
running
and
in.
Ace.
These two apes
You know that the
fighting
fleet
each
and
other.
the mobile infantry don't mix.
That was a subtle jab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mixing with this.
Right.
Carmen.
Yeah. Let's go get tattoos.
That's right.
My parents are dead.
We're an hour into the movie at this point before we actually get to the first battle at Clandathu here. Okay. So
This
and the
is
movie's
1
actually
year. All
only,
this has happened.
and the movie's only 2 hours long. I know it says 209, but there's 9 minutes of credits.
Right.
So it was over right at 2 hours. So we're halfway through the movie and not a single battle with bugs has happened.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like when we did Punisher, I'd be like this, but they've actually done a good job of making it entertaining to me up to this point where I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize we haven't even really done anything with the bugs yet.
They did the Full Metal Jacket thing.
Right.
Where it's like
Yeah.
training first half of the movie.
World building.
Or,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
second half, yeah.
But here we go into Big K, Clandathu, and it, I don't know, I felt like it went pretty great
Yeah.
for them.
What could have went wrong there?
thought it
I
would-
don't see
The drop looked crazy.
no notes.
Yeah. No notes. They all run across the field.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, they said there
Well,
might
and up
be
in the-
some.
Sorry.
No, good.
And up in the sky, the captain woman, she's like, "Oh, it's just light. It's just light.
Oh, it's gonna be
Nothing,
sporadic
nothing's
and
coming
light.
up. Oh crap!
Yeah.
Someone made a
This is
mistake.
Random or sporadic.
Somebody made a big damn mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Splooge coming at us.
Yeah, they're shooting splooge out their asses. I like they nuked the 2 big ones. That was cool.
Yep.
Then the Hispanic guy turns into Ash Williams. He's like, "Come get some." So all the he steps
Yeah.
way in front of everybody
Everyone's
else.
shooting too. Like, get out of the line of fire, man.
Right.
You want some? How about you? Helmet fully dropping down in
Yeah.
front of his eyes.
Yeah.
Right. And
You
he's
want
still-
some?
You want some?
Oh, God, I'm going to die like Gator Boy. Oh, no.
That bro got tossed into a pile of bugs and pulled into 1,000 pieces, and that was freaking terrible.
Yep.
I wonder how quick that would be. Do you think that would be a quick death or a painful death?
I mean, painful.
I'm gonna go shameful for his.
yeah.
Yeah, he got his leg ripped off,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Okay,
and
yeah.
then-
It's a very impressive sequence.
It is.
in the sky above and on the ground.
Oh,
Very
for sure.
impressive.
For
very
sure.
well done.
Good mixture of miniatures, visuals, and specials.
The freaking camera guy just killed me because this is the first time you see the camera guy, because the first one was through his perspective.
Yeah.
But this time you see the reporter get picked up, and camera boy is just stays right with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Do I
He
need to
doesn't-
stay on him? Should I
Dying?
stay on
Okay,
him?
here we go.
He doesn't run away.
Yeah.
See, the guy earned my respect. He did his job to the last second. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Hank Azaria and Godzilla. Like, I guess I'll just stand here and film this. Yeah.
Until he gets murdered.
Right.
And then Rico tries to save these guys, and he ends up again
Rico tries to save the viewing audience.
the viewing audience.
Yeah.
Because the
Get
girl that
outta
wanted to-
here.
the girl that wanted to have babies tries to run away and falls into a sinkhole and gets pulled away by some bugs.
Oh yeah, I felt bad for her. She was
felt bad.
terrified the whole time.
All she wanted to do was have some kids, man.
Right. Then hang back. I
Hang
don't know,
back a little
like
bit.
Just take that big step
line.
backwards and be like, pew, 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 pew. Then just
Operation
hang back.
Operation Get Behind Rico.
You're right by the shuttle where they dropped you off, and she's still back.
Yeah, when the bugs start coming, just be like, I'm gonna sandwiches. I'm gonna go get some sandwiches for you guys. I'll be right back. You guys doing great.
My gosh. Rico catches again. This was a bug that they shot a million times. It should have been dead. At the last second, comes up and puts through his femur. There's no way it didn't go through his femur. That was the width of his whole leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the chunks of bugs that these people get through them,
Yeah.
and they don't. There's little to no
Yes.
major injuries. Is kind
It
of
missed every single vital organ.
Yeah.
like the one that Carmen gets in her shoulder at the
So
towards the end there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's through half your organs right there.
oh yeah.
And she no sells it at the end too.
When she gets that, it went right through her scapula in her shoulder and straight out through the front. The next minute she's up, she's holding a rifle and shooting it with both hands.
Right.
Your arm is useless
No.
at that point.
No.
It would have been like Sarah Connor trying to cock the shotgun with her one arm. Remember, like that was actually
She
like
did it.
She did it, and she had her dead arm because they put the finger of the T-1000 through her shoulder.
No.
And so like that's an example of how it should have been.
Yep.
But
Right.
she caught this whole leg through her shoulder, and next minute she's two-handing a machine gun.
Yeah.
It's like it's no problem. I think it probably weighs 20 pounds.
Right.
Probably duct taped it.
Right. It's great. No sells it. She's a fantastic actress. I don't know what else to say other than that she should have gotten an Academy Award. But I've been waiting so long to talk about this. Of all the commercials, this is my favorite.
Is the commercial before where they go and find out that he's dead?
Oh yeah. Well, this is right after. So she before they find him in the tank, Carmen sees him on a big list. that
Yes,
he's
and
dead.
so that I had to bring this up because they walk through a food court worth of people laying around
limbs
screaming.
everywhere.
Oh, it's like a Civil War
Bloody,
you know,
and they get up to the
medic set.
board and they're like, "Why are there no casualties?" And I was like, "You just strolled through a whole room of
And he's just like, they don't take prisoners.
I'll do one
don't
better.
take prisoners."
Every person that's there, like this dude, like, hold on, let me saw your leg off, and they walk past the next person who's holding his own arm, like, it doesn't go back on, and like, everybody's in different states of horror,
Wounded.
But then Rico gets the Luke
Bacta
Skywalker
tank.
bath,
Right.
The Bacta
He gets a
tank.
Bacta tank. Why does he get a Bacta tank?
And all these other guys are like, guess we just tie it off and burn the stub.
Yeah.
But he gets the Bacta
But
tank.
Rico was rich.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he did inherit the money from the parents.
If they were going to have something
Yeah.
like that, they should have had rows and rows and
Right.
rows where there could be multiple people taking
In the
these
tanks.
baths.
Right.
It was so unbelievable that this one guy gets to go.
I
in the
needed the
huge
guy
tank.
that was holding his own foot with a needle and thread trying to sew it back on to look over and see Rico in his Kool-Aid tank and be like,
James, what you
Dang
don't
it.
get is this is a statement on how the rich get better care than the poor.
it never dawned on me until this time watching it. I was like, wait a second.
And they
All
knock
the
on
other
the
wounded-
window, and
And
he's
there's a
like,
lot of doctors in there with him too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We need doctors in that room, guys.
We could talk about this whole same topic again when Diz dies.
Yeah.
And there's this funeral with everybody around for this one person.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
shoot her into space.
Yeah.
that's my favorite. All right, but this next set of commercials, we get before my favorite one is they replace the Sky Marshal first.
He's like, oh.
right? He's like, see you later. I'm the to defeat the bug, we must understand the bug, right? And we're gonna do the planet hopping strategy like they did across the Pacific in World War II, right? And we're gonna work the outlying systems and planets until we get back to Clendathy, which I'm assuming is their home planet. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to this freaking talk show with two actors that have 3 lines each. And they both go as hard as they possibly can.
Amazing.
To me, it's almost on the level of the boiling acid guy from Batman Forever.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my God.
It's boiling. This guy's like, frankly, I find the idea of a bug that thinks offensive.
Cut.
You didn't quite shake enough. He was so into it.
Yeah.
There might be some kind of bug that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
A hive mind, and she's going hard.
Right.
And he's bringing it back 10,000% more than
I want to
she
watch
is.
that show so
I know,
bad.
like,
So bad.
These guys got 2 lines each, and they're like, they will never forget us. Okay, we are going to do this as hard as possible.
The director's like, can we do it one more time? But can we just dial it back a little bit?
No, get out of here, Paul.
He's got his bow tie
Frankly,
going
Paul,
on.
I find that offensive.
Fun piece of movie trivia. Did you know Vic Armstrong was second unit director and
Oh, was
directed
he
most
really?
of the action sequences?
Oh, I love that. Vic Armstrong, dude, he's the, most well-known. He's done tons of stunts, but he was Indiana Jones' stunt double.
Yeah.
For Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Yeah, Vic Armstrong's the man, dude.
He had the really stretchy arms, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
New unit. All right, now they're shipping out to the new unit, and it's like a bunch of like 14-year-olds, right? Like, we just got, what does A say? We just got reinforced. Most of these guys are fresh out of boot. I'm like, you're fresh out of boot. You've been on one mission. What are you talking about? These are children lined up here to be part of the new crew, right? They're called the Roughnecks. They're also being folded into this other,
Yep.
And there's this gal, and it's the priest from Walking Dead.
Yes. This. Oh my God, this guy is awesome.
Yes, he is.
What's
Yes.
his name in this
Oh,
movie?
hold
I can't
on, I'll
remember,
find
but
it.
I'll look it up for me. But they're like the 2 underlings. We
Sugar.
don't know who the lieutenant is. It Sugar?
Seth Gillum, and his name is in the movie Sugar Watkins.
Yeah, Sugar Watkins. Yeah, so Sugar and this other gal are like the main people in the Roughnecks, except for the lieutenant, which we don't get to know who that is yet because there's a big reveal
You don't
coming.
talk about
Right.
him.
And people are like, I think Ace is the one that says like, he sounds like a real nutbuster,
Yeah.
and they blast him.
Correct.
Hit him in the
right?
face.
He saved your ass. He saved me.
my ass.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm also a Spartacus.
Did anyone else, whenever they said Roughneck, jump
Yeah.
into the Wild Wild West song?
Yeah.
I did. Roughneck and go chicken law on the bottom.
Get a hold of your pride. Swallow your pride. Don't let your lip react.
You don't want to see my hand where my hip be at. Without a miss from the start of this, running the gate.
That was
That we're
perfect.
gonna call.
Every time they're like,
Yes.
Roughnecks.
That would have been great. You want to
So
live
awesome.
forever?
And
You
he
don't want to
says,
see my hand?
she says to, who do you think pulled you out, right? Like basically insinuating that the lieutenant is the one that saved Rico, right?
Yeah.
And
Put you in the good tank, in the real healer.
everyone gets real quiet because here comes the lieutenant, and you get start off with the reveal on his back as he walks in, and then he turns around. He's got the metal hand, and it's the teacher from earlier. It's Michael Ironside.
I cheered so hard as a
damn
kid watching
right.
this. I was so happy.
Dude, and the way Michael Ironside, I've only got one rule: everyone fights, no one quits. You don't do your job, I'll kill you myself. Do you get me? We get you,
I
sir.
guess he puts his fingers on Rico.
It's so good.
It is.
It's to me, it's the, line
best
that
line of the movie.
The best line out of all of them is "Everyone fights, no one quits."
Yeah.
it's so good. I don't know why it is, but it just is always
Just a
stuck
cool,
Yeah.
awesome.
It's him. It's
Right.
the way he
Fine.
delivers that.
Because Michael Ironside had made a career on being a bad guy.
A bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Like in like 90% of the movies he made, he's a villain.
Yeah.
So it's like the one time you see him in a hero or anti-hero, whatever way you want to look at it, he's just
always a
kills
badass.
it.
And
Yeah,
you
he's always a
could've-
badass. Always.
Yeah, and you could
enjoy
have
his
came
roles.
out and been a tongue-wagging like wrestler, like
Yeah.
nobody likes blah blah, but he's
Right.
just that quiet, like
Yeah.
It's so good.
Makes you believe he could be with Sharon Stone.
You're like, all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
So they have this one. They only do a few missions together in the movie, and the first one is basically an air comes into this planet, sweeps through, and napalms the whole area, and mobile infantry goes to mop up.
they glass them, and we
Right.
clean it up.
Right. And they're nuking bug holes. They're shooting nukes into bug holes and stuff. And they're doing much better than they did when they were on Clendathu. They end up surrounding a bunch of them and shoot them into a big pile. You know,
Yes.
Easy for cleanup. And at this point, a giant bug comes just out of the ground, right? And flamethrowers the main girl's arm off.
Yeah.
Right? And Lieutenant tackles her out of the way and saves her life again. And they're all freaking out how to get this bug. And Rico, I just always thought this was the coolest thing, who's up on like a cliffside, jumps on top of the bug, shoots a hole into the thing, and it's done so well you can't see. Like, to me, you don't see the seams in the scene, right? Of the CGI and the live action, all that stuff. And it's a 30-year-old movie at this point, almost 30 years old. And he's grabbing the edge of the hole as he's trying to whip him off, and he just chucks a grenade in there and then lets go. It's a great scene.
It's a great scene.
So good. Yep. Yeah. And there's movies now, like we said before, that the effects don't look this good.
No.
And they should. And it's really good.
Brought up to me yesterday, did I like Red 1? And I go, no. I looked like I was watching a CGI fest.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything just looked faked.
Right.
You know?
It makes me miss like the old Indiana Jones movies where like they made the set and there was real water splashing,
Practical
real people
effects.
swinging. Yeah.
Yes.
Miss.
Yep.
Right.
Miss
Mixed
magic.
miss.
Miss the magic of practical effects.
And it was so awesome that they made him a freaking corporal. And even the shot, which you know is not real, of the inside of the bug as it falls down and it's half blown apart, and there's orange juice all over everything.
It was a half-built model mixed with,
physical mixed with digital.
And blended it together. Looked great.
And that's badass, too. When
It was badass.
Rico's standing there and that thing is just bursting sauce behind him.
I like that all the bugs had different colors.
Yes, a
That
lot
was
of them
cool.
did too. Yeah. Oh gosh, the green was the one that the sugar was shooting in.
In the eye, and it's
Don't look so much once you scrape him off your boot, and he's just getting sprayed.
as he's
green.
talking, it's just flicking off his face like,
Yes,
He's just spitting it
think
out
there's
while he's
some more.
talking to him.
He's just like,
It's really
he starts to
bad,
gargle.
really
Ah,
Think about it, like, that can't be good for you.
right. This can't be.
It can't be
So
good.
Rico gets promoted.
He gets promoted to corporal. So what's going to happen? We'll see. First, we're going to have a big party with some violins and some footballs.
The line he had when we promoted him.
Yeah.
That was a good line of,
Oh yeah, I need a corporal.
I need a corporal.
Near it.
Either until you die or I find someone better.
Right.
So does that mean you kill me if you find something better?
guess.
What's going on here?
That's it.
Thank you, sir. I don't know what to take of that.
I feel like there was maybe some nepotism here because it
Just got
didn't
there.
matter who else was around, because if someone above rank of Rico died, he was like, Rico, I got another job. You want to move up?
I mean, Sugar was just like, I've been here for a while.
We seen what happened to Ace when he was squad leader.
Yeah,
He froze.
sugar guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he froze. I mean,
when there's only one thing to do, shoot the bug.
just give an order.
Yeah.
What's the order, sir?
He's like,
I don't know. Bugs approaching.
Go get the bugs.
Diz tries to dance with him again at this party, and he's like, I don't do that anymore.
Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna make me pull rank? And she's like, no, sir. Right?
My God, dude.
Because he promoted her to squad leader when he got promoted. to corporal.
Rico doesn't deserve her.
No, that's
He
the
doesn't.
theme.
And Michael Ironside, who's like came in, I want him to be like, I wasn't even supposed to be in this scene, but I have to say this to you because I'm so tired of this shit. He comes over and goes,
The one guy that's,
you once asked me for advice. Would you like some now?
Sure, yeah.
Never pass up a good thing. And he walks away.
Yes.
And I'm like,
So play football,
thank
or-
God.
So I should definitely hump Diz now, right? Okay.
That's all he does.
All right.
So he
And
goes and
here comes Gary Busey's teeth.
he goes and dances with her, and Jake comes over.
Jake Busey, yeah,
plays
sorry.
the violin right in their ear holes. You know.
That's I started cracking up because he comes around and like all you see is his teeth and this green violin. Like
Yes.
Shiny.
That's why they went back to the tent. They're like, we got to get out.
Yeah.
Looks right at Diz and goes, empty his balls.
yeah.
They get into the tent, and it's go time.
Pause.
Okay.
Oh.
Get the socks.
No, the first thing she does is lick that nipple good.
Dude, yes.
She bites him too.
Hold on, guys. Slow
Lick
down.
it. Lick it.
Quick, zip the tent.
I know you're trying to take your shirt off, but I want you to look as ridiculous as possible for this.
I don't want to see your face.
Was he trying to bag her?
yeah.
Oh, that's not cool.
Have you
man.
seen Spider-Man?
That's right.
It's sort of like that, but you're not upside down.
Flip you upside down. yeah.
But anyway, all right, I'll take this off and let's get to the bone zone. And
I got to play for this.
it's called the Flip 6 3-hole. But now I know what it means.
I add them together.
And all of a sudden, it's like boom, 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 boom. And like freaking tent gets zipped, and she hides into the sleeping bag, and he's like, "We just got word that another planet's been hit. We're rolling out of here in 10 minutes." Who's that with you? Like, he really was concerned, I think, for a second.
I wish it was Jake Busey.
Yeah,
Like,
Jake pops up.
I was playing violin.
I want to tell you guys a very quick, short story here. But when Brady and I went to go see this in the theater, and Michael Ironside says to him, "Make it 20 minutes," the theater cheered. Like in a way that most places don't when you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
It literally was a whole room of people going, "Yeah!
He's finally doing it.
I would have stood up and went, "He doesn't deserve her."
I object.
I object." That's what would have happened. And I love it how there's like this moment. This is like the stupidity of youth, I suppose. We were a moment where both of them were like, 20 minutes. Yeah, right.
We could do it.
We could do it.
Yeah, we could.
And then they really hurt. I'm like, that's plenty of time.
yeah.
Maybe
That is
I'm
about 15 more minutes than you need.
Maybe I don't know about you, but I need 30 seconds tops.
You
You know,
two
football's
grunts.
on.
It's not like you guys are porking all the time while you're fighting bugs. You guys don't need that long at all. That 20 minutes will cover the boinking. You could have a sandwich.
Please.
You can get your uniform on. You got plenty of time now.
right. You can go back, toss the football some more.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he didn't even need to say that. He could have said, "We're rolling out in 10 minutes," and you're still
Right.
fine.
You're still plus.
You're
in time.
still
Absolutely.
You're still gonna get there first to the shuttles.
Yeah, right. Well, that's great because we can still hit the shower. Well, that'll be good. We'll be nice and clean.
Oh, and don't forget, before that, she literally looks at him in his eyes and she's like, "I love you, Rico."
Oh, she did.
And he just
carmened her. He carmened her.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
He did it back to her, and it's like, you don't deserve her.
All right,
She's
baby.
literally pouring her heart out to you, and you can't even say it back.
Josh and Brian are convincing me that he did not deserve her.
Oh, it was so dick move to do to her.
I think that this is her fault.
Well, they
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
She is still throwing it at him,
Yeah.
even though he's being an absolute idiot. At what point does the victim not become the
have
victim
some
anymore?
self-respect.
Right. Eventually, you got to be like, "I'm too good for you,
Yeah.
you dumbass."
That's fine.
Okay.
They got to get out to B. I think it's P.
Point made.
Because there's like all the planets named after letters or whatever. So they got to get to P because
Clendathu.
a distress call from Quado. Yeah, from Total Recall. It's also
Open your mind.
Got a lot of nerve.
Planet Namek.
seriously Dean Norris. So,
Quado.
all these Verhoeven guys are coming back.
Yeah.
From Total Recall.
We're just missing RoboCop.
That's all we're.
I didn't know that was Dean Norris in Total Recall until
Yeah.
I listened to your episode.
Oh,
of
that's
Total Recall.
yeah. Because he's got the freaking scar over his
Yeah.
eye. You can't even recognize him in that movie. All right, they go into the freaking base that's abandoned, and it looks like the Mormons, get just slaughtered all over the place. And on their way there, the comms guy gets scooped up by a flying bug, okay, and brought over to another place, and the lieutenant shoots him right in the chest.
Right while it definitely looks like he's getting anal probed.
100%.
Sure does.
Oh, yeah.
Sure does. Look like
I
the
take the
flying
bullet.
bugs are the real bad ones. Do not get picked up by the flying
They don't
bugs.
just kill you.
Yeah.
Why does anyone just ever just point their gun up and shoot up?
Yeah. Why, he has a gun, doesn't he? Or he's just going to beat him with his radio? Right?
Shoot yourself.
Something.
Something real bad's about to happen to you, sir.
Just take a grenade and just like, this is it.
He puts him on the ground, and you wait for him to tear your legs off, but all you hear is zip. You're like, oh God, somebody shoot me right
You
now.
got a pretty mouth. Oh no! Oh no!
I expect any one of you to do the same for me.
Do you mean butt play with us?
Oh, shoot me if someone's trying to do that to me.
Okay, yeah, right.
Right. So Bruce Willis should have shot Ving Rhames in Pulp Fiction, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh,
For
that
sure.
scene.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page. All right, they get to the base. It's absolutely totaled. I'm skipping a little bit here, but basically they get into the mess hall, and there's a dude at a computer. What does this look like to you? There's a hole in the top of this
Yeah.
guy's head. I love Michael Ironside's delivery. He's so serious, and it's a ridiculous line. He sucked his brains out.
I love when the general too. Before that, when the general falls out of that freezer,
Out of the freezer.
and Jake Busey goes 10 hot. Like there's an officer here, even though he's
You're all
lost his
heroes.
dang mind. Yeah,
And
You're
Lieutenant's
heroes.
like, clearly over the general, right? And like thinks he's pathetic for hiding in the free.
Tries to kill him.
I had to maintain the chain of command, and
He was going to shoot him.
he wanted to shoot him. It was, and that's. I always think of him as the bad guy from Twins too.
Yeah, that gentleman, and he was also in Total Recall.
Also in Total Recall,
He was the magical being.
Yeah, Quado.
That's
right.
Keep knocking the damn camera.
No.
I wanted that character to be played by the Russian guy who, like from Armageddon.
Yes.
You know, he's all crazy on the
Yeah,
space.
Peter Stormare.
This is
Yeah.
how we do things on the
He's a Russian space station. I'm a cosmonaut.
What I didn't understand from there, right? So obviously they sucked the brains out, but they said they made him do something by getting into his brain.
They get into his brain and made him they make you do things, right?
So, like, do you think that was just like mind reading, making him do stuff?
I don't
know.
Or
The second
poked him
one-
in the head, made him do stuff.
Oh yeah, Josh, you were telling me about this
Yeah, so
yesterday.
the second one, they explain all that. I don't want to spoil the second one for anyone, obviously, but that it's like a hint toward that.
Right. They have
the
some
second
mind
one
control
explains the
capabilities.
whole thing. Like, it's not just that thing.
Right.
Because I was trying to think, how are you going to fit that fat ass bug in that corridor?
Those small little hallways to get in there. I was like,
that thing ain't
But they
getting in
showed
there.
that little
push.
bitty bug. So
the,
does that little bitty bug?
Well,
like,
that's the ones that carry it around. Remember when it comes
Yeah.
out at the end? It's like carrying the thing.
okay, so they suck its brains out and then they go, okay, now you make a distress
And they got,
call.
and then all those little bugs got to push the fat vagina bug out the door.
Oh my god!
Push.
good old crotch face.
Crotch face.
I mean, do you have to get like extension hoses for that damn
I
thing? They're
don't
just
know.
running through.
yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous.
We can't fit her in here again.
Turns out it's a
Damn it,
trap.
Rosie O'Donnell.
I take my straw and I suck up your milkshake.
Drink your milk.
Yeah.
Prances around.
I'm done.
It's a trap. They made the guy Farley, was that his name? They made Farley call over the distress beacon or whatever, so the bugs are closing in. That was one of the best shots of the movie. When at one point when Ironside looks over the base and there's a sea of these things.
No.
Yeah, you're not winning that.
Fantastic. He said, fall back into the base. I hope you got Rico's. I hope you got a crazy pilot to send down to us, because they were like, land in the base. I'm like, dude, it's a little shuttle. How freaking hard is it? Come land in the base.
Pick
okay?
us up
Not
and get
hard.
out of
They
here.
did it very easily.
Pick us up and get out of here. Not even. Turns out it was barely an inconvenience.
Yeah.
right.
This is very easy.
So Carmen, of course, because it's the
Trope alert.
Hope you got a. Hope you got a crazy pilot. Wonder who they're gonna send.
Yeah.
Sure enough, out comes Xander trying to help shoot. Bless his heart. And Carmen's the pilot, and they're all trying to back in, and these things trying to come over the walls, and the sinkhole bug comes up, and in goes the lieutenant.
Yeah.
And he starts screaming, and Rico's like, "Holy shit!"
Shooting into the hole, you badass.
Yes.
Like, okay, fine. I don't care.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Ironside is
Yeah.
just shooting into
Right.
the hole.
Yeah, he
doing
doesn't
something.
care.
I didn't care.
And
You know
then
what was happening.
they grab him by the arms and they pull him back, and his legs don't come with him. And all I could think about was, see you at the party, Richter. I'm like,
Poor guy.
They took his arms off in his last movie, and then the same actor took his legs off in this movie. So Ironside has been a stump in all of the Verhoeven movies, basically, at this point.
That's true.
And he's like, you know what to do.
You know what to do.
Do you want me to bring you? Because I saw a guy at the beginning who had no legs and one arm, and he was okay.
And he gets
was
his own office
recruiting
chair.
people.
He
He
gets his own
build you an office chair.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
He said it made him as the man he was today. So I could shoot you, or I could
No.
bring you to that
And I'm
place.
only questioning because there's been no butt stuff.
Not at all. So you know what to do, and he's like, I know what to do, and I don't want to.
What happened in that hole? They
I
took
have to
my
get-
legs and
I have
my
to get one of the
virginity.
flying bugs, let it violate you so I can shoot you.
Oh my gosh,
I can't shoot you until that flying bug butt stops you.
guys, I hate this part.
Uh-oh, which one?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Diz.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, this was the worst
To
part.
this day.
Because she doesn't throw the grenade like a football,
Well,
right?
so she.
I'm
This is
joking.
the whole setup, right? Is she's the quarterback.
throws
and
like a
so
girl.
it's actually a great moment because she's able to take out this thing with a perfect pass, but then she turns around and gets four times, like four different, like pump, pump.
Okay, so she turns around,
Yeah.
and then Rico goes, Dizzy,
Yeah.
I'm holding this gun. Watch out.
yeah.
And then she turns around
All right, that's fair.
and gets bop, bop.
yeah.
And this trope. But like these moments that happen of either like I did it, I finally did it, or in it happened in The Walking Dead in every episode I ever saw.
Yeah.
Where like I finally have this emotional breakthrough and then I die.
Yeah.
And same here where it's like, I killed a big bug.
Right.
Diz.
Flop,
Flop, flop, flop.
she gets jacked up, and I was so, even from the first time I saw it, I was so, and I still am every time I watch it, emotionally invested in the two of them that every time, by the time this scene comes, I know it's coming, I still get so bummed out that this
She
happened.
didn't deserve that.
Yeah, I don't.
She
It's
didn't.
not about them. It's more about her. For
But he got promoted, so she
But
had to
look,
die.
The movie, that's true. The movie pushes so hard to sell you Carmen and Rico and Neil Patrick Harris that she was never going to make it, because that's the trio. They're the ones that make it in the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else. I don't think that Paul or the writers or anybody expected Dina Meyer to do so well and connect so well with not just the audience, but Johnny, that it ruins what they were ultimately trying to do in the movie, which is to sell the Carmen thing coming back around, because Xander and Diz both get eliminated, and you think, okay, well, at some point they're going to.
I
But
think this was franchise bait.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is they put all their chips in that trio, and then the movie doesn't, like, the audience doesn't go with you in that aspect because she's too good. Dina Meyer is too good. So that's what makes that whole part doesn't work.
Yep. Yeah. No. Dina Meyer is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she sells the crap out of her death too.
Oh,
inside
gosh,
that
I
shuttle.
can't- It was
She
heartbreaking.
sells it. It is
I can't.
horrible.
Oh man, when
Don't let me
she's
go,
like,
Johnny.
No.
It's only okay.
No.
Oh yes. At least I got to have.
got to have you.
Yeah.
Right there, I wanted him to be
love
like,
it.
I wanted him to be like, yeah, about that. Listen, I'm not sure this is working out.
You know, see, Carmen's up there. And
Yeah.
I gotta go talk to her. There might be
Hey,
a
listen,
shot.
you're dying. Is it cool if like I call Carmen again, or
She's actually
No,
right
no,
over
stay
there.
awake, stay awake, stay awake. So the thing is,
It's heartbreaking, Dad, watching her.
this
That
is this is weird, but Carmen is driving the plane, and I'm just wondering if you're gonna die, because if you are, then are we cool for me to go up there? Yeah.
We get that line where Johnny goes up, they want to bombard the planet, and she's like, we can't, we got other plans for P. Emmy does the dying, Fleet just does the flying. Like, they've
Yep.
got all these little military things that they, stick in there, just like, I like those little touches. And then, yeah, we have the funeral for one soldier that was a private
Yeah.
in this military, that
Yep.
these dudes are dropping like flies, but she gets the space funeral.
Shannon said that she was watching this part with me,
Yeah.
and she's like, "How come all those people died, but this
Yeah.
one gets shot out into space?"
Yeah.
They do that a lot in like military movies. Like one of the important characters of the movies dies, they get the funeral.
Right.
It's
But they-
only because she's important in the movie, bro. The
Right.
movie shouldn't exist inside the movie.
right?
Right. No, I agree. But it's actually a trope, because it happens a lot
Yes,
in
all the time.
every single military movie where one of the characters dies and they
That's
have a
the funeral
funeral.
you see.
But the extra that just came off the street from McDonald's, he ain't getting nothing. He's getting.
No, the camera guy.
The
didn't
sky
get it.
should be littered with these coffins. Just,
bumping into each other.
Superman's
Yeah.
trying to fly through and ding.
I love too when
Go ahead.
the coffin is sliding out of the ship,
Yeah.
and they grab the flag off of it. Like, you can't have that.
Yeah.
You can't have the
That
coffin.
costs too much.
We need the flag for the next.
Him shouting the military orders though, just like, oh my gosh, just use your normal voice, please.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
No.
Neil Patrick Harris shows up at the funeral, and he's like, sorry that had to be your group on P. Didn't Jay tell you? Mobile infantry is good for dying, or whatever his
Yeah.
line is. And she goes, well, we're going back to P. I'm going to capture this brain bug. You don't approve? Well, that's too bad. We're in this for the numbers. It's the species we're after. I mean, he goes through this whole, he gets like unnecessarily
changes.
hostile for no reason.
Like complete 180. It's like,
Right.
oh.
Yeah.
He
Easy,
has, like-
man.
he has, like,
Easy.
eyeshadow on too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to try to make him look older. Or,
Trench coat and everything.
Yeah.
The whole thing, right?
Yeah.
They go to see, now he's made the new lieutenant of the Roughnecks. Rico is. Rico's Roughnecks. As Sugar.
As Sugar says.
Thanks, sugar.
Recruits keep getting younger. And
Rico's Roughnecks.
yeah, it is.
Yep.
And he does the one rule, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And off they're going back to P to capture this smart bug. That's the plan here, okay? Carmen's ship, as they're flying over this planet, gets frickin' sawed in half. Okay.
Felt bad for the captain.
Butt plasma. She gets sawed in half. She gets Harrison Forded by that door.
Yeah.
Brenda Strong, who plays the captain.
Yes.
Awesome.
Was that not a real fear of yours when you're growing up, though?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
an elevator door or
Yeah.
an automatic door or
Yeah.
the automatic
Yeah.
window or any of those things. You're like, no, don't put your arm in front of that.
Oh, like Resident Evil, when the lady gets her head stuck in the door, and it goes, oh.
Yeah.
And there's people running. There's already showing escape pods launching from the outside. There's people running all over the place. I'm like, how, if you got there and there's no escape pods left, or there's like one left when
I'm diving in space.
just dive
I'm
out.
diving in space to try to catch an escape. I'll hold my breath.
I just kept thinking of space. I'm the bearded lady.
What are you, one of the freaks?
Kick them out of there.
Come back, you fat bearded bitch.
But there is one escape pod left for them, so the two of them
Well, one guy joysticks too hard to the right and crashes into
does.
the
Turns out I don't know how to fly one of these things. I work in the janitorial services. Bro,
All you needed was 1 week of training.
That's it.
You could have been a
Through
pilot.
the
that.
academy in less than 6.
they did.
And then they hit a
land-
guy in space. And they hit a random body in space.
They land on the planet. They fly.
Cow.
Escape pod flies right over Rico's unit and crashes into a bug hole. And he's like, "I'm going after her." I know because they hear her on the radio. She's calling in Mayday as they're coming down. Right?
You cuck. Gosh, what will you not do for this girl? She, whatever.
Yep.
What? Tell us what your situation is. She goes, "Situation is extremely hostile. There's bugs coming in all over the place."
Yeah.
Yeah, she whispers it too.
Yeah.
Hey, we're in here. What? What's the situation? It's extremely hostile.
That's right.
Come get me. This is the biggest plot armor.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've ever
Yes.
saw two characters have the most plot armor. We
Yeah.
see these bugs rip through
Everybody.
everybody.
Right.
But they don't rip through.
Xander gets one through the leg,
Yeah.
and she gets the one through the shoulder that we talked about.
Right.
And it's gnarly. She's being like held up by this thing.
Oh, it's a gnarly scene.
And they're all like, the bugs start to shout or cry or whatever. And the
Do the
big,
Velociraptor thing.
and then the big,
clever girl.
the vagina fart bug comes in the
Just
room.
Crotch face.
Oozing white ooze out of the hole.
The sweaty pus ooze.
Yes.
It looks great, though.
It looks great, but it
great.
makes me vomit in my
Yeah.
mouth every time.
A guy like me is gonna come back and kill
Oh
you.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, he's hearing them scream. And he's like, "Cancel that order. You and I both know they're already dead."
So Doogie hadn't got to his brain yet at this point, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because he doesn't get the nuts to go down that tube.
Well, Sugar
when he gets
had
there.
nuts for days. He was ready to go down in that thing.
Yeah,
just
they-
like everybody.
Rescue
They
mission.
end up walking down another tunnel, and Rico suddenly is like, "We should go this way." I don't know why, but something's telling me we should go this way.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if we go off mission, it's grounds for whatever punishment,
Execution.
You get hanged
whatever.
You get hanged.
for that. I think you get hanged for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I need 2 volunteers. Everybody else continue on mission. Just ditch your whole squad. You're the lieutenant. Okay, cool. The 2 of them go down this other bug hole with them, and then once the vag bug comes over, it's gross as hell. Puts up the freaking this arm. When the thing comes out of the vag, the like right out of, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like right out of the thing, and then it unfolds like Benny's arm from Total Recall, and comes in, and that's when he says like, "Someday somebody like me is gonna kill you," and
with
he just
wet hair.
and the thing comes down. The effect is so well done,
So good.
and the thunk that it makes when he gets into his head and just sucks his brains and all of his insides out to the point where he's like,
Yeah,
hollowed
he's
out.
dried up.
Scanners, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's great. Then it goes over to Carmen, and Carmen, who Xander, to his credit, passed the knife to her, chops the dick off this thing. Okay.
Chops.
And I'm
It's a brain
saying,
dick. That's what it is.
very cool. Cooler moment.
Yeah.
Is Busey.
Yeah.
Uses the knife throwing ability.
Yes,
And
would've been
throws
cooler.
it. Would have been way cooler.
I don't know what good is this. Yeah, that would bring that full circle, right?
If you're still taking notes,
Yeah,
right?
it's fine.
And all the bugs do nothing about it. She
Well,
cuts off that wiener,
Yeah.
and then they all just go, "Hey."
For a second, they all start to come towards her for a second, but they hesitate way too long considering what we know
Yeah.
of them.
Right.
But then they all start to back up, and you're like, why are they all backing up? Because Rico's coming in with a nuke.
With
He's
this
like,
explodey snow
Yes.
yeah, you know what this is. You're some kind of big, fat, smart bug.
Yep.
Right?
That's probably Rico's best
up, Mom.
moment
Oh,
in the
it's
whole
shining.
movie.
cone. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
the way he delivers it, the way he looks, he's just like so confident. And it was great.
Right. He banks on the fact that this bug is going to understand when the other ones don't, and will at least communicate with all of them.
Yeah.
And they all start to back up, and they were able to pull Carmen out of there. And then as they back up, as soon as the brain bug is able to get back down its poop hole or whatever the thing is down there, then all the other bugs are like, well, now that he's gone and safe, we're coming to get you. And
You're waiting for the boss to leave the room, the break room.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Attack! Yeah. And then it's the four of them shooting until, well, I think Sugar's the one that just gets like slashed across his back or whatever.
Yeah.
You try to be a hero?
Oh, no, sir, just wanted to try to kill some bugs.
That's right. Give me the nuke, right?
Give me the nuke.
And he starts firing, and they all get down the tunnel until the thing nukes, goes
It was
off.
a great scene
And
because
he's
he was
to
just
death for being promoted to lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's, oh, gosh, you're right. Every time he gets promoted,
Every
somebody
time.
dies.
yes.
Damn, dude.
But Sugar just lays waste to everyone. It's just he's just
And Carmen's, this is when Carmen's
blasting.
no selling the freaking
no selling the run.
the rifle and the run.
Yeah.
The humongous gaping hole in her shoulder.
Yeah, track meet.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
After this, I got cheerleading competition.
As they run out of the tunnel, everyone's already celebrating because they're pulling another bug out of another hole, like across the valley.
And wait. Because so Sim is the dude that found the brain bug.
Zim
right?
got the bug, man. It was Zim.
Yep. But
How did he get
wasn't
the
it
bug?
the other crew that went down the other tunnel? They were the only other ones down there. So was Zim part of the unit that went down that hole to go catch the bug? Or
No.
was this later?
I think there's many units on this planet. I think the Roughnecks were one of many, many units, and they went down this other one. And when they come out, it was like across the valley from where they were.
Because
So I think
because he calls it in and says, we see the brain bug going northwest down the blah,
right.
blah, blah.
I think there's multiple.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's the
Okay.
same bug that they catch.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Bug? You think it's the same bug?
It is
No,
the
I think,
same bug.
I think it has to be a different one.
A different bug,
Otherwise,
yes.
it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Also, please play for me the scene where Zim catches that huge bug by himself.
Who had to belt up that net? The net's got like these straps and belts around it. Like, hold still, damn it, we're trying to put this.
Right.
net
Well, it
around
didn't move, so he probably just like walked up to it slowly and was like, "Okay, there's no little bugs
'Cause
around,
once you
so I'll
kill
just
the little
strap,
ones-
throw a strap over it." And
He chloroformed it. Quick,
Right.
until it fell asleep.
What hole do I cover?
Please,
And it was
stuck
like-
an enormous tampon full of whatever
That's
into
what
its
it was.
crotch face.
Right into its
Yeah.
crotch face.
Sleep.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, they're all like, "Yay, we found it!"
So did they just left the other crew that was still searching down there?
Well, I think eventually everyone's radioed to come out or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
We never
They
see
blew
them.
up. The
We never see the Roughnecks again after that.
No, I think the other.
We're going straight.
Neil Patrick Harris rolls up. He was just hanging out there while they were doing this mission, I guess. And he puts his hand on top of the brain bug. It's afraid.
Yippee! Scared.
That's what matters.
It's scared because you guys caught it. I'm not sure this means you're gonna win the war now.
Right. And then Rico says, "It was you, wasn't it? You showed me how to find Carmen." I don't know what you're talking about, man.
That's classified.
That's classified.
And the one who won the war is Sim.
Yeah.
And I think I just feel like whenever the three of us together, everything's going to work out okay. That's the real Starship Troopers, is the friends you make along the way.
yeah.
It's like a ending episode of He-Man Masters of the Universe. What did we learn today?
Exactly.
Dina lives matter. Dina matters.
They hop back. They hop back in the booth. They're like, "All right, so today was a crazy day.
Yeah.
And
What did we learn?
That's
Friendship.
right. And Neil Patrick Harris in a confessional straight to camera. And no one will know this is the moment it changed. And it wasn't the fleet or some fancy new weapon. It was a drill
sergeant.
instructor named Zim
Knife throwing private named Zim.
That's
who
right.
Caught the bug.
who caught the bug. And then it cuts to the bug in a cage, and they just freaking rape this thing.
So many times.
Like, oh, you like that?
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty hole in your face. Here's the jaws of life in there. Yeah.
And then
censored.
Censored, of course.
Yeah, yes.
Can show everything else,
Like
but
the
not
cow.
Show that. Yeah.
I'm like, what came out of the end of that thing that we can't see what's happening here? And then it's to the commercial. We need soldiers. We're going to fight and we'll win, but we need you. And you get the shot of Johnny Rico. You want to live forever. And the Roughnecks. And, oh, dude, it's such a great way to end this thing. And they were, would you like to know more? click, and it's into the credits, right?
Yep.
That's the end of Starship
work.
Troopers.
Good work.
They did it.
I gotta pee.
All right, go for it.
I gotta pee.
Man, it's a lot. I know this was going to take us a long time to get
Yep.
through because there is a lot in this movie. But I'm excited to find out what you guys thought about the various who was good and who was bad. And before we jump into awards, though, given the fact that, you know, they brought everybody else back from Total Recall, why wasn't Quaid brought back
Yeah.
into this movie?
Nope.
Late 90s. Now, I know after I think 96 was Jingle All the Way, and I think he took a break because he had to have heart surgery, and so they didn't do End of Days was 99 when he came back, right? There was a couple years where he wasn't doing anything.
I thought he wasn't that governor time?
No, that was after. 2003 is when he became governor.
Okay.
He did T3 and then took 10 years off.
Oh.
and
He wished
didn't
he
do anything.
hadn't.
Yeah, maybe. But my God, this seems like the perfect Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
No.
And not that I don't like Casper Van Dien
Yeah,
or
no.
you know or Zim or Clancy Brown or whoever or wherever you guys think he would have been. I mean, maybe he's too old because he's supposed to be a high schooler. Although that didn't
That didn't matter.
it
Didn't matter at
Age
all.
did not matter for that.
Listen, this is my first prom. And I didn't get to go when I was a junior, so I'm very excited to be dancing with you here.
I don't even go to school here.
That's right.
Who's your
I'm
daddy
the
and what
foreign
does he do?
exchange. He's a foreign exchange student. That's what it is.
I've never been to Buenos Aires. I'm from Austria. But I'm very happy to play Spaceball. Dude, he comes across
Austria's
the line and
beautiful.
Arnold just takes him. There's also some very weird rules in Spaceball about off the ball contact coming right off the line of scrimmage because it's just like he just flipped him over.
Yeah, there's
But
no personal fouls. or
no,
anything
none of
like
that stuff. But yeah, Arnold playing Spaceball.
Yeah.
He tries to flip 6-3 hole him and he just catches him in the air.
I got you.
Come down.
Grabs him by the belt, just rips him down.
You
That's
fired.
right. You fired.
That's how Xander
so
gets
good.
in the stands. He actually throws him.
Maybe Xander is the right spot for Arnold, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
When Johnny comes up and like, oh, and who are you? Okay, cool, cool.
All's fair in love and war.
That's what I. Listen, rank doesn't matter. Okay, me and you are going to fight, and I don't care that you're a little private, little girly private. Okay.
I got privates too.
And then he lands one shot on Arnold, who, like Henry Cavill in Batman vs Superman, doesn't move his
Yeah,
face
right.
when he gets punched. And then it's just Suplex City into the hammer fist.
Dizzy has to take over after that. He's done.
Dizzy has to take over. What do you, Bob? We're talking about Arnold being Xander. Okay,
You think he can
you
lick
think
my
he can pull it
nabs?
off? You think you've been here for 2 weeks and you can lick my nabs?
My nabs.
There are many things that you could lick, but my nabs is not one of them.
I mean, I could buy him as Xander only because he would make that line at the end. Someone like me
So
is going to kill you and your whole effing race.
That's right.
And he just punches the bug so hard that the whole ass end explodes.
the face dick comes out.
Yeah.
He's like, "You are one ugly mother."
Yes.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna stick
Do
that?
it now.
Right.
Do it now.
You think you're gonna stick that in my Austrian oak scalp? You ain't gonna penetrate me. I penetrate you.
You want to kill me? Come kill me.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we got the cheap stunt pilot playing along, and he says Rico's dad. I can see Arnold as the dad who smacks Rico around in the beginning of the movie. You want to be a citizen, little girly boy? You're not even a civilian. Throws Rico's head first out of the. You cut off. He throws him out of there.
I love that he put an A there.
Oh, we got DJ Kimball playing along, and he says Clancy Brown, Sergeant Charles Zim. I think Arnold as a training instructor would be awesome. It would make sense that he would be the one at the end to get the bug, right?
He didn't mean to break his arm. He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm just so strong. It was Om Day. Him choking Diz, and then at the end he gets demoted because he knew he could find the brain bug by himself. This is ridiculous. Brunts me down to a private. I'll end the war today.
They send him down alone. Here's the hole. Go.
Oh my gosh. I forgot to ask you, where would you put Arnold in this?
I don't want to lose Ironside, so we got to put him somewhere else. But I'd put him as Ironside.
Oh,
I mean, him as a teacher and then taking over as the badass. I mean,
I have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
exactly.
you don't do your job, I'll kill you myself. He could totally do it.
Yeah.
That's
He
true.
could totally do it.
I expect the best and I give the best.
That's right.
Yeah. Here's some sausage.
Here's some sausage.
Here's some footballs and a violin.
Who's in that with you? Make it 20. Can I join?
It's a cool party.
Cool party.
See you at the party.
That's right. See you at the party, Richter. Oh, it's so good. It's Johnny Rico. This is Jason Ryan playing along. I can't think of a better role. Some of the lines he had in this movie would be perfect to add to Arnold's collection of one-liners. Yeah, no, that'd be great. 20 minutes, we can do it. We also got Patrick McCaffrey, who we are doing this movie because of Patrick. He went full Dudikoff and picked Starship Troopers. So,
thanks.
He says,
thanks,
Patrick.
yeah, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
The FedNet announcer. There's lots of options, but the Fed. Would you like to know more? We're going to fight and we're going to win, but we need people. Do your part and stomp some bugs. Be great. It's
What about
full
the
of one-liners.
newscaster? What's the newscaster's line?
Would you like to know more?
No, it's a dumb planet. A
Oh,
bug
that's right.
planet. What-
Oh,
what's the first one?
TV reporter?
Yeah, the reporter.
It's an ugly planet.
Ugly.
It's a bug planet.
I find the idea of a smart bug.
I do.
Frankly, I find the idea. I can't do nerdy Arnold.
Get
It's
it
like no
mad.
for him to
It's
be.
got to be mad Arnold, like yelling.
Stop it!
Yeah.
I'm a cop, you idiot. Frankly, I find the idea of a bug that thinks offensive. Sorry.
Almost
That's
as intense
perfect.
as that guy.
Yeah.
Carl Jenkins, if only to hear Arnold say, "It's afraid!" at the brain bug at the end.
Yahoo!
All those
Just of you touching him.
and him being like, "This is oh my gosh, this is Thijs. I think his name is Thijs. Yeah, I'm sorry, I always mispronounce it. Thijs Van Balen. Thijs says, Carl, so he can scream, "It's afraid." It may hit different when an actual Austrian is walking in those uniforms. Oh, good God.
Uh-oh.
And then finally, we've got Grant White here from California. Says, "I'd put Arnold as Jake Busey's character. All the characters' dialogue would finally have some heft. I'm going Korea. Officers training all the way. Everyone needs a friend like me." This is funny. And then she just broke your heart. But then when they be your friend after they've ripped your guts out, then they're going to ram into your stomach and rip out your damn spine. Sorry, just thinking of Running Man.
Yep.
I put Arnold in the shower scene. Yeah, why not? All right. Let's give some awards. And we're going to start off with the award we give out to the person that was the most intense, the person that just went the hardest, even though they're in Shooting Bugs, the movie. It's the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
I just had a epiphany. Will Patton screaming, "You want war?" Imagine if he was Ironside's character in this, right?
gosh,
If he was leading, "You want a war?" the bugs would run the other direction.
Well, they're not screwing with him.
Yeah, they'd be like, never mind. Sorry, we shot our rock butts at your planet.
This guy's a sadist, sir. Let's move out.
Something just occurred to me, too, looking
yeah.
at the wall.
Yeah.
Is that Johnny Rico related to that Johnny Rico?
Oh, no, they're not actually.
I know, but like...
Yeah. So we got
That's
Casper
crazy.
Van Dien up here who put it to, what is that? What is it? To BMR.
The only good...
The only good bug is a dead bug, Casper Van Dien. Look at
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. I love it. Thanks, Matt Mulholland, for that
But
one.
Johnny Rico and Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Ringo is
Oh, is it Ringo?
Yeah, it's Johnny
Okay.
Ringo.
I thought
Oh, okay, sorry.
Gotcha.
Cheap Stunt Pilot says, for Will Patton, I'm going Sergeant Zim. Clancy Brown had a lot of contenders, but his intense performance, both verbal and physical, stole the show. Ultimately, what won it for Zim was the full hand point, followed by a lesson that was both instructive and threat. Oh, he would point with his whole hand. The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand. Yeah, good stuff. Brian, who's your Will Patton nominee?
Yeah, I'm going same guy. We're going
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown. There's lots of great options here, but I thought he was, from the minute he stepped on the screen, was just fully intense. So intense they had to bring him around as the hero at the end.
Yeah.
So Clancy Brown, most intense for me.
All right. DJ Campbell says Gene Razik as Ratchek. Sorry, Michael Ironside. This dude played the teaching role, believing everything he said, and then the soldiers leading the Roughnecks into battle, killing some bugs. I'm pretty sure he killed his second in command to get Rico instead. I would have followed what you were saying.
Nope.
It's like nobody looking. Rico, I got a job.
Hey, some position just opened up.
Dave.
Same. I'm going
Ironside?
Michael Ironside here, just because of that quiet intensity that he had through the whole thing. When he was teaching, it was still badass. When he was the lieutenant, it was just, he didn't have to yell. It was just like, I'd expect any of you to do the same thing.
Yes.
And that's it. That's
Awesome.
Super intense, super good.
So 2-2 right now, Clancy Brown and Michael Ironside. As we head over here to Jason Ryan, who says, Michael Ironside. I think if this award wasn't named after Will Patton, it could be after Michael. Intense from the start, like in all his movies, the man rarely puts a step wrong. Josh, who you got for your Will Patton nominee?
I'm going to echo everything that's already been said. Michael Ironside. I mean, just from the beginning, you're not messing with him. No, the bugs don't want to mess with him. Students don't want to mess with him. Nah.
Love it.
I'm not messing with him.
All right, so right now he's starting to run away with it here. It's 4-2. But Pat McCaffrey comes in and says, Clancy Brown, Michael Ironside. It's tough to choose between the two of them. It's obviously between them, though. They're intense from the first moment you see them on screen in polar opposite ways. But ultimately, I'm going to go with Michael Ironside. When you have a line repeated by two characters and one of those characters gives you chills while the other is shouting, you know who to believe. Everybody fights. No one quits. So ultimately, it's another vote for Michael Ironside, although he's saying it's between the same two guys that it's come down to here. Bob, who you got?
Dina Meyer.
I love that pick.
Yeah. She was my favorite character.
And she was intense as hell.
Yeah. I liked her a lot. She was awesome.
That's awesome, man.
I'm sticking with my guns here, Dina Meyer.
I love it. Theis says, going Clancy Brown as drill instructor Zim. Now it's 5-3. Channeling his inner R. Lee Ermey, just what you said. Basically, Full Metal Jacket. And him constantly yelling for a medic after hurting the recruits was fun. Yeah, so I really wanted to go, I find the idea of a bug that thinks offensive guy. I legitimately, not just as a joke, almost went there. I also almost went with Xander just for the look on his face when he's beating up Rico. But I have to go Michael Ironside.
There you go.
What finally put me over the edge was, you don't know what to do. That thing when he's in the freaking pit was so intense.
Yeah.
So great. And so ultimately that's why I'm going to Ironside here. And Grant says, also Michael Ironside, his lecture at the beginning convinced me to sign up. And his no one quit speech would have motivated me to give that man all I've got. Ratchak's, how do you say his name? Ratchak's Roughnecks. Hoo-ah! And that means that with plenty of votes, ultimately Michael Ironside is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity. But tons of deserving people in this movie, for sure. I think a movie that doesn't have Ironside in this, Clancy Brown is right there for this one. Good stuff.
Thanks for making me feel better, James.
No, it's true. It's true.
Ironside's going to be at C2E2. It makes me want to do a drawing with him in it and take it down there and have him sign it.
Dude, that'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
awesome.
The whole cast, Dina Meyer, they're all going to be down there. Denise Richards,
really?
Casper Van Dien, all Starship Troopers is coming
What day
to
is this?
C2E2.
BMR bus trip.
I don't see.
Oh, is this the April one?
It might. I don't know when
Yeah,
C2E2
it's in Chicago.
is. It's in
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's usually right around
I
there.
think it's April, yeah.
So we'll see. All right. The next award we're giving out is to who gave the worst performance in the movie. Again, not a career award, but just in this movie, who was the worst. Not who was the worst character, but the worst actor. It's the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
All right, Steven. Thank you for kicking us off here, man. And ultimately, we're going to start here again with Cheap Stunt Pilot, who says, I'm going with Carmen. No way. Denise Richards? I could have seen this coming. Good grief, forgetting for a moment that her character was downright unlikable. But she has the same expression through 3/4 of her scenes. Not so way later in the movie was there anything but a smug grin. Learning about Hiroshima? Smug. Cheat on Rico? Smug. Meteorite to your hometown? Wait a minute, we might see something else. Nope, she's losing it. Back to smug. Rico chose wisely picking Diz over Carmen.
He didn't.
But did he?
He didn't.
No.
She made that decision for him.
Yes.
They both did. Brian, who's your trash can?
I think a lot of people are going to be upset with me, but I am going to say that it's Rico. And
What?
And the reason is I didn't really believe him as a leader of this army. I just thought that he was sort of one note the whole way through. He's throwing Kleenex.
Where's the sandal?
Where's the barrel of ninja?
Unbelievable. I'm wearing shoes. I can't throw
There's
them
a
at
ninja.
him. You got a barrel of ninjas.
Okay, so I over Denise Richards. That's pretty rough too.
That's why I'm mad. I'm not like saying Casper Van Dien's an Academy Award winner.
Here's another
she's
reason.
She's in this movie.
So the other people up for this role, there were lots of other people up for the role, but like 3 of them, for instance, James Marden, Josh Brolin, Keanu Reeves. Like imagine Keanu Reeves in there. He's not an amazing actor, but I'll take his acting over Rico's.
There's enough bugs here to put a hole in the world. Oh, that's like Nicolas Cage.
That's
Sorry,
Nick Cage, but that's fine. He would have been good. I would have loved to see Brolin as Rico.
Right.
inevitable.
All bugs. Half the bugs gone.
All right.
2 snaps, and then he'll be gone.
Yeah, especially hearing some of these other options that they had. I'm like, oh, I don't know. He's very handsome. I wouldn't blame you for smothering him in oil.
The man has Zac Efron's post-surgery jawline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Zac had to go get his jaw fixed to look like that. Casper's jawline is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
There are cool moments that he has. I would just say overall, I wish it was.
How come we never got a Casper Van Dien, Dolph Lundgren, Zac Efron movie yet?
Be great. The jawline
much chin.
from hell.
Jaw lines.
That's what it'd be called. Jawline.
If literally one other person goes Casper Van Dien, I will acknowledge that you're not crazy. Until then, I think you're crazy.
You got it. I told you people are going to be upset.
Okay. DJ Campbell says Neil Patrick Harris.
Wow.
Man, he was so meh. It's not funny. He's a good actor and he could have done so much better. I feel like he was just there. Also, imagine a psychic trash can. Yeah. All right. I'm surprised. This is the trio has each got a vote right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dave.
Well, I don't disagree with Brian at all. Like, I think that Rico sucks. Like
We're friends.
The actor is. Hold on. The acting by him is very much like, huh? And then I'll yell something, shoot the gun. That's it. He's garbage. But Denise Richards is in this movie, so
That's all I'm saying.
I can't give it to Rico because she is the only reason she ended up in any movie was because pretty, and that's it. All of her roles are garbage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because of this movie, because I know you're not supposed to, but in this movie she sucks too. So Denise Richards gets the vote for sure.
You know what? She was good in 30 Rock. You ever see her in 30 Rock?
No.
She is like the leader of the Idiot Club or something like that.
That's why it worked. And that's why Casper Van Dien works in this part to me. He's not a good actor. His career, I think, no offense, Casper, I know you hooked us up back here, but like he didn't go on to have a prolific acting career. But Johnny Rico is a very simple part. Yell, scream, shoot guns. And I think he at least does that. Whereas Carmen needed to be like a brainiac and play a little bit more of a nuanced thing. And, you know.
And she played a nuclear physicist, remember?
Oh, and James Bond.
And Bond.
Yeah. Jason Ryan says, I'm going Denise Richards. I can never understand why she got to live in the, while she lived, and they killed off Dina Meyer. The stupid smile in nearly all of her scenes where there was nothing to smile about drove me crazy. All right, Josh, who you got?
Same thing, Denise Richards.
Oof.
Absolute trash can. Get out of here.
Tell us how you really feel.
Patrick says Denise Richards. I wish she did a better job, but Carmen just kind of fell flat. Why would Johnny want to chase after Miss Hard to Get unless you're a football player for the visiting team or a pilot with pouty lips that conveys very little emotion? I wish she would have been more convincing, but she just wasn't. Bob.
Casper Van Dien.
Oh.
No, he's not.
Oh, there's the backup. There's the backup
Ass troll.
Please tell me it's real. Please tell me it's real.
No, it's real.
The shoe.
Ridiculous. You think he's a worse actor in this than Denise Richards?
You know why? Because he doesn't deserve her.
Denise Richards looks like she's trapped in a fog.
I'm going to
That's
say
not
this.
there.
This would
See
be
her
very
pilot?
I'm going to see this to say it's very controversial. This is just my take on it. This was probably Denise Richards' best role that she's ever done.
What?
But that's like, this is the
know.
cutest turd in a toilet.
She doesn't do anything bad
She
enough.
doesn't do anything bad, but like I said, Casper Van Dien's awesome person.
She doesn't play one scene conveying the correct emotion. Not one.
No, but
It's her butt. Just say it. Say the quiet part out loud.
Dina Meyer all the way. No. I have to go Casper, man.
This is a
Casper's
sock
just-
vote
Casper-
for sure.
100%.
Casper, no, this is not a joke. Casper overacting The best part of the I even said this was the best part. The best thing that he ever delivered with emotion was the end when he's holding the bomb. The way he was talking, the way he was delivering his.
Cool. Oh, that's cool.
That's all right. You don't have to like it.
Vice says Patrick Muldoon and Denise Richards. It could be because of the intentional 90210 like acting, but it just seemed wooden. I didn't believe their chemistry. Oh, Vice, you committed a cardinal sin here at BMR.
Yeah, plant your flag.
Plant your flag, Josh. Thank you very much. Absolutely. My vote is for Denise Richards.
Yeah,
obviously, because she sucked balls in this movie. Okay,
You think you lick my
Not
naps?
literally.
didn't even do that
And
with
that's
him.
part of the problem.
No.
Yeah.
And finally, Grant White says Denise Richards as Carmen Ibanez, the same emotional range as a trash can. No life behind those blue eyes, and she totally didn't sell the lingering pain in her shoulder at the end. She's a pretty trash can, though. So ultimately,
So is Casper.
Denise Richards is going. Denise Richards wins
Casper Van Dien.
the trash can.
And two ninjas thrown.
Two ninjas.
Two ninjas thrown.
We have, for those of you who aren't watching and can't see, thanks to our prolific patron who's been on a few times and doing awards, Jeff Ninja, named after the barrel ninja from American Ninja, brought us in a literal barrel full of little ninjas, and they're color-coded just like American Ninja. There's yellow ones and white ones and blue ones and red ones.
And you can throw it.
Now we have him. Why did he get a ninja chucked at him? He didn't do anything.
I didn't. I'm not.
These are reserved for throwing at people who you vehemently disagree with. Okay. All right.
So me and Brian.
So here we go. It's time for the
For this
Steve
one.
James Unsung Hero Award.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Yeah, right. Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
Hold on. You got to get through the theme song. That take, it was frustrating. It wasn't nearly as bad as the Will Patton thing from Punisher. That made me so much more.
I'm glad we didn't have
John
the ninjas.
Travolta.
Yeah.
John Travolta was
the whole thing would have been.
Will Patton.
All of it. All of it. All right, Steve James for the character that had a small amount of screen time but felt like he made the movie better. And our first guy, cheap stunt pilot, went with Michael Ironside. Whether it's smacking students with his stub or smacking generals with his Ash Williams hand, he owned all the scenes he was in. I always love seeing Michael in this movie as a nice turn from his usual disgruntled villain to disgruntled mentor. I might feel like Michael might have been in the movie too much.
Yeah, he's in there a lot.
The unsung hero.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. But he's a huge part in this movie. But it's your vote, and I'll give it to you. So, Brian, who you got?
Well, darn it.
Oh, it's a major. It's supposed to be for a small part. It's a big part.
That is a big part.
Yeah.
I'll go if you think that's too big of a part.
Yeah.
Then I'll pick my flag up and I'll move it over. I'll put it.
Your other guy.
Replant.
Well, I could do Clancy again.
Clancy for sure.
But I'll do Busey.
Oh, Jake. All right.
He's smaller part, right?
Yeah, he's not. I mean, yeah.
Smaller than Ironside?
He has way less, I think, screen time for sure.
Okay. Well, I'll break it in half. Half Busey. I'm kidding. So Gary Busey. I'll go with Jake Busey.
Jake Busey. All right.
Okay. He was great in Frighteners.
All right, perfect. DJ Campbell said, I know I said replace him with Arnold, but dang it, Clancy Brown and Sergeant Zim is awesome. Also, the knife throw into a Busey is good stuff. And of course, he hands out a Hot Babe Award, which we'll get to in a second. I'm not going to take that off the table yet. Dave, who's your unsung hero?
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown.
For sure.
Mr.
Yeah,
Crab.
He Mr. Crab.
He is Mr. Crab.
He was just great. And like he didn't have a huge chunk of that movie, but the chunk he had was great.
Awesome.
Super awesome.
Jason Ryan says, I'm going with Clancy Brown. I was going to give him my Will Patton and Michael the Unsung Hero, but I wasn't sure if Michael was in it too much. Yep, there you go. Clancy played the part real well for what little time he had. I always enjoy when he throws a knife at Ace and just screams medic as if he did nothing wrong. Love it. Josh, who you got?
I'm going completely out of the box. We're going with Juliana McCarthy, who played the other expert from the guy that you like, mainly because she steps on his foot just to get her point across so she can speak. I'm going with her.
I love it. I love that pick. Patrick McCaffrey says Jake Busey. So that's 2 for Jake Busey. I'm trying to get back on track here with who we picked. Is it 3 for Clancy Brown, I think, at this point? Is it 3-2?
Yeah.
Or is it 2-2?
I believe you.
It's 3-2. All right.
I think it's 3-2.
Jake Busey was Patrick's pick. Kind of a jerk and bully to start cutting in line, but he was overconfident, gets knocked down a peg, and accepted he wasn't the leader, was just there to fight. Also, he plays the violin, and Jake actually learned to play the violin for the role. I'd love to see more of Ace's story.
Well,
Bob, who's your unsung hero of the movie?
Denise Richards.
She's one of the main trios.
I know.
all these at here.
I'm gonna go with Sugar.
Sugar.
The
The priest from Walking Dead.
yes,
And
I'm
he's
trying
in
to
The Wire,
load up
too.
his name, but I don't have good internet.
No, that's a good pick. He was good. I like that a lot.
Trying to kill some mugs, sir.
That's right. And Thice says, do you want to know more, voiceover guy? First thing that comes to mind with this movie with the RoboCop-style news segments, not a surprise to the same director. That's actually a good pull. He did good. But I'm definitely going with the I find a bug that thinks offensive guy.
Yeah.
No.
It's my favorite little thing in the movie. I know he's not going to win, but come on.
Yeah, he won for it.
Yeah, for sure. And he had one scene. And then finally, bringing up the end here, Grant White says, Clancy Brown, just going to seal it for him. Awesome in the short screen time and loud and tough. I enjoyed the character's arc from dehumanizing drill instructor to the soldier who wants to fight for the greater good. Never put your hand on a wall if someone asks you to. Yeah, good tip. And ultimately, Clancy Brown's going to win the Steve James Unsung Hero Award. Before we get to our final ratings, there were, because of the movie where there's many options to pull from here, a couple people that submitted their Sherilyn Fenn Hot Babe Award as created by Bob Hauser. And so I'm very interested to see if anyone's...
I might have to change it to the
We'll see.
Dina Meyer Hot Babe Award.
Yeah. Oh, dang. All right. Well, we know where Bob's going. So are you going Dina Meyer then if you want to
Absolutely.
change the name of the award after her?
Yeah, I think we gotta change the name of the award to Dina Meyer now. The Dina Meyer Hot Babe Award. I'm planting the flag. Charlie.
Would anyone disagree?
Is anyone going Dina Meyer?
Dina Meyer.
There you go.
Yep.
Dina Meyer? Orange Whip?
Dina Meyer.
Orange Whip?
Orange Whip.
Dina Meyer. I'm surprised. All right. I'm obviously going Dina Meyer. I've already professed my love for her in Dragonheart. I don't want to belabor the point in case she's listening and it's embarrassing.
Well, she did like your post.
She did like my post. Did I ever tell you guys that?
She's
We
gonna
made
love
I
this.
took a clip out of the Dragonheart episode of us talking about how awesome she is and how I had a crush on her when I was like young and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we put it out, and her Instagram, she liked it. Yeah.
That's like you guys are practically married.
We practiced.
You deserve her.
Don't
More than the
Rico
other
her.
guy.
Do not Rico her.
Never. I have my own Diz that I love, so we're good.
Oh.
Dana.
All right. So, but here's the people they have. So DJ Campbell went Dina Meyer. Don't need to say anything. James will do it for me. Love that. Jason Ryan also went Dina Meyer. Not only does she have the looks, but she's also a better QB than Patrick Mahomes.
Oh!
Hey-o.
Who would
Shots
have thought
fired.
that
Yeah.
Philly
Sucks they
would
lost
win the
that.
Super Bowl?
Patrick McCaffrey also went Dina Meyer. If Dizzy were giving me the come hither eyes half as hard as she gave him to Johnny, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
I would come hither.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think
Wait, her
everybody
name's Heather?
across the board
Heather.
went, yeah, and he finally here, Grant White also went Dina Meyer, an attractive woman who'd follow you into war and is aggressively trying to bang you. Sold. She was aggressively trying to bang him.
Thirst.
You can keep your stupid ass spaceships, Carmen. I'll be getting Tent Nookie. That's a clean sweep in a movie that has many options.
No.
Yes.
Two.
Amy Smart is in this movie.
Also,
Okay.
Ruth from Golden Girls.
And
Okay.
Rue McClanahan is in
Yeah.
this movie.
And the one who wanted the babies.
And the one who wanted the babies.
Sure.
And
sure,
the and the beautiful woman that
There
slapped
are
Rico's
only
ass in the
two
shower.
The guy who killed the country farmer. Or the girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's females.
The guy
in
with the dead
movie.
dog.
Dean Norris.
Rico's mom, I guess. Sure.
Those
There's
mom.
way more than No Escape.
Well, yeah.
The first I'm doing my part, soldier.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dean Norris.
Dean Norris
Yep.
in here.
Casper
all right.
Van Dien.
It's time to land the plane, okay? We have to ultimately give this thing a final rating of whether we think it's a bad or good movie subjectively and objectively. And we're going to get things kicked off here with Cheap Stunt Pilot. And he says his final ruling is a straight up good movie. Saw this in the theaters as a kid and loved it. Still love it to this day. It walks like a cheesy sci-fi movie. It talks like a cheesy sci-fi movie, but it knows exactly what it is and leads a full-blown assault on good movie planet. While there are times it teeters on a BMR, the score, the visuals, the humor carry this movie to victory. You're lying to yourself if the ending propaganda didn't make you want to run to the nearest Federation office and sign up to fight some bugs. Good movie, full stop. Love it. Nice take from Cheap Stunt Pilot. Thanks for playing along, man. Brian, you've got the floor. How do you feel about Starship Troopers? I'm excited. I think you're the only one here that didn't see this before.
Yeah, I have no nostalgia attached to it. I wish that there was a little bit less of the real world spring break feel to it, and there was a little more badass turned up. So science fiction, bug war, but more badass, less of that. But I would say overall, it's well done. So I would say good. And I also really enjoyed myself. I've been with Cheap Stunt Pilot the whole way, actually. Just copying him, man. Thanks for giving me my answers. But I'm going to say good movie.
Okay.
Well done, and I liked it.
I love that because I feel like you said, a lot of people, there's the nostalgia bent to it, and so it's hard to separate and parse out those feelings of, is this really how I feel, or did I just love this since I was, in my case, 18 years old? Mm-hmm. But knowing you just came out clean and like it makes me very happy.
Yeah, good.
That's awesome, man. DJ Campbell said, this is a good movie. It's got violence, romance, bugs, space travel, great acting, awesome sets, CGI wasn't bad, and boobies.
Boobies!
I watched this with a friend, who is no longer here, and I was excited to see this. This movie holds a special place, and I know I see the outrageous stuff now that I missed when I first remembered watching it. I hope one day I can show this to my daughter and enjoy it together. Thank you for having me. This brought back fun memories, and BMR rules. Much love from Pennsylvania. Thanks, DJ. We appreciate you, man. Dave? The ball is now, the space ball has now been tossed over to you.
All right, and I will reach out and grab it. I mean, this director does this really great. He makes good movies that are B movies, but they're silly and they're good. And yeah, this is a good movie, full stop. It wasn't even hard. And I did see it when I was a kid and, or when I was a teenager, I guess, and high school. But yeah, good movie, full stop.
Love it. Jason Ryan stepping up to the plate here, and he says, I love this movie. I love this movie. This was one of the first movies I put on my watch list when I got Disney Plus, and if it ever is on TV, I'll put it on too. I'm going good movie, full stop, all the way. Thanks, guys. Jason, thanks for playing along. Josh, the floor is yours, sir.
Good movie, full stop. I mean, I watched this when I was a kid, just like you did. Like in high school, it's a perfect movie just to sit back, enjoy yourself. Like you said earlier, the whole first half of the movie, nothing's going on, but they keep you so involved with the characters. Good movie, full stop. Let's just keep watching this over and over.
I love it, man. Great take. And then Patrick McCabe, I'm actually going to save him for the last since he was the one that made this episode happen. So go over to Theis, and he says, this movie gets 2 ratings for me. First time I saw it as a teenager, it was a mindless action flick, which I enjoyed very much, and then the effects still hold up, in my opinion, which makes it a bad movie that rules. Looking at it with adult eyes and seeing the satire makes it a very different and even better movie, and because of that, for me, it's now a good movie, full stop. Thanks for the opportunity, Theis. Appreciate you, man. Look at that. The movie's elevated in his eyes over time. Bob, someone asks you, what do you think of Starship Troopers? What are you telling them?
Denise Richards.
Thank you, Dina Meyer. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
Yep.
Full stop.
Full stop.
I love it. How many times is it in your regular rotation?
It was many years ago.
Yeah. I actually haven't watched it in a while. And I remember I was like, I should watch this more.
But the VHS got damaged and he can't watch it.
Oh, that's
It melted in there.
It's stuck
melted.
to the inside of the case.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it to David.
Blue Chew. He's going to send it to Blue Chew. This is all your fault.
Blue Chew. Send us some Blue Chew.
Grant White says, my final rating here is my father took me to see this movie opening weekend when I was 14. I'll share that story another time to keep this brief. So this movie will always hold a special place in my heart, but poor acting, pacing, and editing holds it back, unfortunately leaving it as a bad movie that rules. Our first dissension from great movie. Wow. Hey, love it, man. I would at some point write in on your mailbag and let us know the story about when your dad took you to see it when you were 14. We'd love to hear that. Before we end up with Patrick here, I'm going to say my piece. This is very much in style and tone a B movie. It's got bad actors in it. Again, the Casper Van Dien thing, I don't think he's a good actor. My thing is like, he's just so much not the worst in this, but he's not great. And you have the 2 main characters in the movie played by bad actors. and they're shooting space bugs. And it just shows that something that might be really formulaic and your straightforward action movie, brainless space marines shooting bugs, if you put it in the hands of an artist like Paul Verhoeven, who can then turn it into something that, even with the dialogue, which is fantastic, delivered by people that maybe aren't great at delivering dialogue, it can all still rise above because he just did something special with it. And I think what he ends up with is something that's greater than the sum of its individual parts. And so I think Starship Troopers is a straight up good movie. When I was a kid, when I say I was 18 and I gave that a review in the newspaper, I literally ended up giving it 3 out of 4 stars. And I said I got 1 star for the girls, 1 star for the bugs, and 1 star for the guns. And that was how I closed out my review. And I feel better about the movie now than I did back then. And I would give it a full 4 stars if I could go back and do it after 1 viewing. This is a great movie. I wish they still did stuff like this. I know they've gone back to the well many times, and these sequels are trash by all accounts, from what I've heard. But this movie, unappreciated when it came out, seems to be appreciated properly now. I just wish they could have kept the series going at the level that it was at. And maybe it's because they didn't have Paul. And as soon as you don't have Paul anymore, and you don't get the budgets, now as good as we all praise the CGI in this, it looks great. Some of the CGI and the stuff I've seen from the sequels is some of the worst dog crap.
It's so bad.
So bad. Because they didn't have the money, because they didn't have the people attached to it that they had before.
There's animated movies.
Oh, I haven't seen those. Yep. I don't know if they're good. But Paul is the reason this movie.
Is that the 4th star?
Paul Verhoeven is the 4th star.
Your 3 stars were girls?
It's still for the girls, the bugs, and the guns. And it's Paul Verhoeven gets the 4th star. He's the only reason that this movie is as good as it is.
Yeah.
Because it showed, like, once they lost him, it went, pew, boom. Finally, Patrick comes in, and he says, good movie straight up. I hate to feel like I'm just picking good movies. I gave Borderlands a good movie rating, and I'm giving Starship a good movie rating, but Starship is really well done. It's well put together, the pacing, the cinematography, the music. Sure, there are plot holes, and you can pick on the acting a bit, but it nails the satire it was going for, and the CGI still holds up. When Starship first came out, it was horribly misunderstood. Yeah, I remember watching the theater. My mother brought their kids under 10 to see it. They did not make it past the first scene for the most part. Yeah, Verhoeven's movies, RoboCop and Total Recall are both very violent. It's been 28 years since then. It's been treated much better by the critics and the audience, and it's more than just a cult classic. Remember, service guarantees citizenship. Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work. Patrick McCaffrey from HemaCast. We appreciate you, man. So that means that outside of, I think, Grant, almost across the board, the movie is loved by pretty much everybody, which just bums me out, man. They could have had, think of the kick-ass trilogy they could have had if they'd kept everybody, the same creative team together and brought everybody back again. And I mean, Denise Richards would have had to come back, but like, it would have been awesome, I feel like. I don't know.
With that director.
Yes, with Paul. That's what I mean. Yeah, bringing Paul back, yeah. I think Casper eventually comes back for like
Third one.
He
comes back. I've seen them all.
Is the 3rd one any better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, the other two are 2.5 and 2.3, so.
Jeez Louise.
IMDb.
Okay. All right.
Dina's back, but I think just her voice, and I don't know how that's possible.
Oh,
but
in
one of them,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
How the hell did they bring her back?
Well,
Yeah.
it's time to move on anyway, because we've got new movies to cover on the horizon. We'll launch off of this planet and get back to Earth, because next week we are covering Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Well, great movie.
Sorry.
I almost started singing the song before he was in the stroller, but then I'm like, I can't really sing it on the show.
Truck.
Mother truck, mother truck, noise. Yeah.
Can we say smoke?
I'm so happy you're
watching
happy.
these kids?
I know you guys don't like this movie.
Drinking
Here's the thing.
beers,
I'm
rolling
not-
fatties, smoking blunts.
Who smokes the blunts?
We smoke the blunts.
Rolling blunts and smoking.
$15, little man. Put that in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then
you owe me,
my
jungle love.
Oh, wee, oh.
Yeah.
I think I want. I know you.
So
it's not that I don't like it. I haven't seen it, but I never was into it. And you said that it didn't matter, but I was never into Mallrats.
Yeah, and this is what I was going to say. Me neither. So I was never a Clerks guy or a Mallrats guy. I don't even.
Mallrats.
I saw this all before.
Mallrats
I think I'd seen Clerks. I hadn't seen Mallrats or Chasing Amy, and then I watched this. I think this was the 4th one that they made.
Fifth.
Was it the 5th?
Dogma was before this
Dogma.
one.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I like Dogma, but I've never been a Kevin Smith guy. And pretty much everything since then. Clerks 2 was okay. I haven't seen Clerks 3.
Cop Out.
Hated. didn't like Cop Out. I didn't like Yoga Hosers for sure. Like, so I'm not like a Kevin Smith guy, but for some reason, this is the only one out of all the ones he made where I love this movie.
Did you see Tusk?
Yes.
Oh God.
You got Mel Vandy dragged him to the theater for that one.
Yeah. So I love this movie. I'm excited to do Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't care if we ever do another Kevin Smith movie.
And it's got Mark Hamill.
And Mark Hamill's in it as a Jedi warrior.
Michael Rooker is the villain in Mallrats.
Is he really?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
Mallrats is fun.
I remember in middle school when it came out, people were walking around asking if you want a chocolate covered pretzel and all that stuff, and I was like, "What the hell are you guys all talking about?"
You gotta watch the movie.
But I never watched it. That sounded dumb. And whatever.
You're dumb.
That's what we're doing next week.
Jay and Silent Bob isn't dumb. Mallrats, you're gonna like that movie.
Okay. Perfect. Will Ferrell is a federal wildlife marshal in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna watch it so I can listen to the episode.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you've seen it.
A number of times. It's funny. It's just like Wayne's World.
Pretty much. Yeah. Which is a compliment, I think. I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
It's a
perfect.
Saturday Night Live skit that
Over and over and over and over. Yeah,
and over.
right, exactly. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you on behalf of Dave and Brian and Josh over there. Thanks for coming to the kids' table. Bob Hauser's here, the Manimal. We'll see you next time.
It's an ugly podcast.
A bug podcast.
The only good podcast is a dead podcast.
Frankly, I find the idea of a bunch of guys that talk about bad movies offensive.
Maybe there is a good movie podcast.
Right.
Who gave these Klansmen a mic?
That's right. Uh-oh. Maybe there is a show that we just haven't heard yet from them that's going to be good.
Tom Jane did not do his own stunts in The Punisher.
Looked it up. There's proof.
There's proof, and you can't argue with an AI. Are you smarter than an AI? Casper Van Dien is.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
So lick our nabs.
That's right.
Dina Meyer. DM us.
Don't.
Please don't.